so hard. Yang Aihua immediately opposed without thinking. How can that be? Hiring a caregiver costs so much money. With that money, you might as well give it to me. Qinyang was both amused and helpless. Mom, if you want money, it's easy, right? I'll transfer you 50,000 right now. If it's not enough, just let me know. While speaking, he directly initiated the transfer. Ding. His mother's phone received a bank notification. Yang Aihua looked at the information in astonishment. Yangzi, you really transferred it? Qinyang put his arm around his mother's shoulder affectionately. Mom, your son has money now. Not only can I hire a caregiver, but soon I'll also buy a house and a car, so you can live in a big villa in Jiangqing. The elderly couple was truly stunned. Oh my. Buying a house and a car is still normal, but living in a big villa in Jiangqing? They couldn't even dare to imagine it. Yang Aihua calmed herself down and said earnestly, Yangzi, we are very happy to see you succeed. However, living in a villa in Jiangqing is probably not a good idea. Once your dad recovers, we still plan to return to our hometown. That is where our roots are, and it's comfortable to live there. Currently, Qin Zhongshi's operation was very successful. The family's debts had also been paid off. Qinyang was doing quite well. In such a big city like Jiangqing, not only did he survive, but he was also making a lot of money. There was no one else like him in the entire Chun family village. The elderly couple is very satisfied with their current life. Yangzi, you can focus on your work and don't worry about us. Qinyang nodded silently. If my parents want to return, the house in their hometown definitely needs some renovations to make it more comfortable for them. After leaving the hospital, Qinyang headed straight to the lakeside. Sitting in the car, he searched for information and found the owner's phone number. He took out his phone and dialed. Hello. Is this the owner? I would like to see your lakeside villa. The landlord, Mr. Zhang, was preparing to immigrate overseas. He was eager to sell this property. Naturally, upon hearing that someone wanted to view the house, he readily agreed. I'll be there soon. After hanging up, Qinyang dialed another special number. Hello. I want to report Mr. Chang Xiaodian, the major shareholder of Chongqing Decoration Design Company. He is a spy, specifically targeting military personnel to steal military secrets. This traitor is lurking within the country and poses a significant threat. It is essential to inform the relevant authorities to take timely measures to prevent major losses. After making these two calls, Qinyang finally had a moment to rest. Ding! You have gained 10 points, current total, 110 points. Keep it up. Every day, reading intelligence and utilizing it allows points to continuously increase. More and more. The feeling that hard work brings rewards is truly wonderful. Daming Lake, located in the suburbs of Jiang City, is vast with clear waters and abundant fish and shrimp. There are several lush hills by the lake, with bays and large grassy areas in between. The scenery is quite beautiful. A few years ago, a developer saw potential here and built several lakeside villas, making them the most sought-after properties in the entire Jiang City. It truly is a case of not being able to find a house to rent. Qinyang never expected that one day he would have the opportunity to view a house here. At the entrance of a large villa, Mr. Zhang had been waiting for a long time. Upon seeing a young man step out of a taxi, Mr. Zhang's smiling face froze for a moment. There was a brief pause of 0.001 seconds. What is going on? Could it be that the person who made the appointment is not him? Hello, are you Mr. Zhang? Qinyang approached and extended his right hand. Mr. Zhang instinctively shook Qinyang's hand. You are? Qinyang introduced himself. My name is Qinyang. I just called you to view the house. Hello, Mr. Chen, welcome. Mr. Zhang appeared very enthusiastic on the surface, but felt disappointed inside, thinking this time might be another wasted trip. Nevertheless, the necessary procedures still had to be followed. For the next 10 minutes, Mr. Zhang took Qinyang around the villa, inside and outside, upstairs and downstairs, giving a quick tour. Mr. Chen, that's the situation. If you don't have anything else, I'll be leaving now. Mr. Zhang endured for a long time and finally completed his task, eager to leave. Wait a moment, Qinyang called out to Mr. Zhang. Aren't you eager to sell your house? How could I be? Mr. Zhang sighed. I've encountered some issues with my business overseas. I am preparing to immigrate there as soon as possible and will focus on resolving matters over there. Over the years, balancing both sides has truly taken a toll on my energy. In fact, besides this villa, I also have some other assets, such as companies and hotels, which I plan to gradually transfer out to completely end my business here. Mr. Chun frowned slightly. Boss Zhang, the development of your country in recent years is evident. Choosing to immigrate to a different country may not be the best choice. Boss Zhang nodded slightly. Who says otherwise? No matter how good the outside world is, it can't compare to one's hometown. However, my wife and children all prefer the Western way of life. I am left with no choice. It's not something I can decide alone. Mr. Chin understood that this was ultimately a personal matter. Bringing it up was already overstepping, and saying more would be inappropriate. So, about this villa? Boss Zhang looked surprised. Could it be that you're really interested in buying it? Mr. Chin didn't address Boss Zhang's previous dismissiveness. Of course, if the price is right, I could even sign the purchase agreement on the spot and pay in full. Boss Zhang was overjoyed. but a hint of embarrassment appeared on his face. I'm sorry, Mr. Chun, I was a bit neglectful earlier. Mr. Chun waved his hand. It's fine. I really like this villa. It's beautifully situated, spacious, with many rooms, and has all the necessary amenities. There's a lawn and a small dock in front, a garden, and hiking trails in the back. The first floor has a large swimming pool, the second floor has a small garden, and the third floor features a sunroom, an observatory, and a gym. Just give me your price. Boss Zheng was shocked. I didn't expect you to observe so closely during a quick tour. To be honest, this villa is among the best in the area. If it weren't for special circumstances, I wouldn't want to sell it at all. Based on market value, it's worth at least 18 million. However, I'm eager to sell now. If you offer me 10 million, we can close the deal immediately. Mr. Chun frowned slightly and remained silent. Boss Zheng felt a jolt of anxiety. Mr. Chun, if you have any thoughts, please feel free to share. Mr. Chun hesitated, saying, to be honest, I only have 10 million in total. If I use it all to buy the villa, there won't be any money left for renovations. Although your villa is relatively new, once I move in, I'll need to renovate the pool, lawn, garage, locks, etc. It would require at least 2 million. Therefore, I can only offer you 8 million. If you agree, I can pay in full right away. If you feel it's not suitable, I can look at other places. Boss Zheng was extremely shocked. 8 million? How did he know? He widened his eyes, almost unable to believe his ears. Having navigated the business world for decades with assets worth billions, he had encountered countless commercial elites and geniuses. This was the first time he had met someone like Mr. Chun. Impressive. In just a few words, he had probed his psychological bottom line and zeroed in on the key point, revealing the lowest price he could accept. The price had never been revealed to anyone in his mind. It's chilling to think about. The young man is so insightful, with precise judgment and decisive action. It's truly impressive. The younger generation is formidable. In Chapter 26, the beautiful CEO is willing to invest. What could she want? Boss Zheng sighed deeply. Suddenly, he looked up. All right, let's close the deal at 8 million. Immediately, Boss Zheng called in professionals to draft the purchase contract and handle the transfer procedures. In less than 2 hours, Chen Yang spent 8 million and acquired a lakeside villa, officially becoming a homeowner. He obtained a property worth 18 million for just 8 million, making a profit of 10 million. Moreover, based on intelligence forecasts, there would be large-scale redevelopment in the surrounding area in 10 months. And property prices were expected to soar tenfold. This deal would definitely be a huge profit. In fact, Boss Zheng's decisive concession and eagerness to sell were just part of the reason. More importantly, he wanted to befriend Chen Yang. This person has an unlimited future ahead. A small concession now may yield unexpected benefits later. Before leaving, he took the initiative to add Chen Yang as a friend, hoping to stay in touch and build a relationship. After seeing off Boss Zheng and looking at his own villa, which was 1,000 times better than a rental place, Chen Yang felt extremely excited and couldn't wait to move in. After thinking for a moment, he took out his phone and dialed Feng Danxing's number. Hello, Mr. Feng. I have something I'd like your help with. Feng Danxing was very grateful to Chen Yang. If it weren't for him uncovering Chang Xiaoyan's conspiracy in time, he would have remained in the dark for who knows how long. He might have impulsively agreed to step down from management and return home to take care of the family, falling right into Chang Xiaoyan's trap and potentially ending up with nothing in the future. Mr. Chun, please go ahead. I will definitely help as much as I can. Chen Yang continued. I just bought a villa by the famous lake and need some renovations. I'd like to ask for your advice on the design. And if you could help with the construction, that would be even better. Feng Danxing smiled. Renovation? We're experts in this area. Just wait, I'll be there right away. After hanging up, he rushed over. Chen Yang didn't expect Feng Danxing to seem cold on the outside, but warm-hearted towards friends. In less than half an hour, 3 cars arrived one after another, bringing 7 or 8 people. Feng Danxing led the way, accompanied by assistant designers, project managers, and other relevant personnel. Mr. Feng, what is this? Chen Yang was a bit confused. Feng Danxing chuckled. Since we're renovating, I brought the team over to assess the site, gather data, and quickly come up with a design plan for fast construction. You don't mind, do you? Chen Yang quickly shook his head. Of course not. I'm thrilled. Thank you. Feng Danxing was very professional, and the team he brought was also highly skilled. After a quick tour, they provided their suggestions. Mr. Chun, this villa is really impressive. You have a great eye? Feng Danxing's eyes showed a hint of envy. Lakeside villas are a scarce resource, hard to come by. Although she is quite wealthy, she does not have the opportunity to buy a lakeside villa. A quick glance reveals that this villa is relatively new, mostly intact, and of high quality, with only a few areas needing repairs. Chen Yang asked, which areas? Feng Danxing pointed around. The pool and lawn need repairs. The marble at the main entrance needs to be relayed. The path at the entrance should be changed to asphalt. A cobblestone walkway should be added in the yard. Some furniture needs to be replaced, the monitoring room equipment should be updated, and the garage could use some decoration. Additionally, it's recommended to switch to smart locks. And all the windows on each floor should be changed to floor-to-ceiling windows with soundproof glass. Upon hearing this, Qinyang realized there were quite a few areas that needed renovation. How much do you think the budget would be? Feng Danqing and her assistant designer and project manager made a quick calculation. The total budget would be around 2 million. Qinyang was taken aback. He had just casually mentioned it, and he didn't expect it to cost so much. He hesitated. Miss Feng, why don't we keep it a bit simpler? Feng Danqing smiled slightly. Mr. Chun, you don't need to worry. 2 million is just our external quote. Actually, the cost is only 3 million. You've helped me so much. How could I profit from you? I'll take this job for 2 million. Qinyang was shocked. If the cost is 3 million and she takes it for 2 million, isn't that a loss of 100,000? That doesn't seem right. Feng Danqing laughed. You bought a new house. And as a friend, I should congratulate you. Consider that 100,000 as me pre-booking a celebratory feast for your housewarming. You must invite me when the time comes. With that, Qinyang was at a loss for words. What Feng Danqing was offering was not just 100,000, but a full 800,000. That is quite a heavy gift. Miss Feng, you can just call me Qinyang in the future. It feels a bit strange when you call me Mr. Chen all the time. Qinyang had to accept this friendship. Feng Danqing smiled. All right, as you wish, but you can't call me Miss Feng either. Just call me Danqing. Like Fei Shua does. Qinyang laughed. Okay. With the house purchased and renovations underway, Qinyang felt relieved. He took stock of his finances. After selling the ancient bronze sword, his total assets reached 11.5 million. He transferred 50,000 to his mother, spent 8 million on the house, and deducted 2 million for renovations. He currently had 25 million left. Just a moment ago, he was a millionaire, and now he was down to just over 1 million in cash. He needed to work harder and earn more. Feng Danqing's team spent over an hour preparing the procurement list. They would start purchasing today and begin construction tomorrow. Danqing, you've been busy for so long. Let me treat you to dinner. Qinyang handed a bottle of water to Feng Danqing. Gulp. Feng Danqing was sweating slightly. After taking a sip of water, she felt refreshed. Wait, last time at the restaurant, I lost my composure a bit. I said I must find an opportunity to formally express my apologies. Tonight's dinner, you mustn't argue with me. It's my treat. After arranging matters for her subordinates, Feng Danqing pulled Qinyang into her white Cadillac. Within 10 minutes, they arrived at a lakeside location. It was a private dining place. From the outside, it looked very ordinary, but the interior decoration was uniquely crafted. It was elegant and made one feel inexplicably relaxed. They found a lakeside private room with an excellent view. Standing on the large balcony, they could see the shimmering lake's surface and the sunset glow. Very beautiful. Not bad. Danqing, you really know how to pick a place. Qinyang was in a good mood. A happy smile appeared on Feng Danqing's face. I was introduced by a friend and have been here twice. It felt very nice. Today, I brought you here to taste it. Qinyang savored the tea and admired the lake view. Regardless of how the dishes were, just this lake view was exceptional. Feng Danqing teased. You're hitting where it hurts. Someone who can enjoy the lake view every day saying this in front of me. Don't you think it's a bit excessive? Qinyang slapped his forehead and laughed. Haha, look at my brain. It hasn't turned around yet. I keep thinking I'm still someone living in a rental, forgetting that I'm also a small tycoon with a lakeside villa. In the blink of an eye, 2 hours passed. The two chatted and ate, and the atmosphere was very harmonious. Ding. Trigger today's information. Chapter 27. Mysterious Call, codenamed Black Tiger. Ding. Trigger today's information. Information 4. Feng Danqing has been working at her desk for a long time, designing blueprints, suffering from lumbar muscle strain, shoulder and neck pain. And her condition is quite serious. Qinyang was slightly surprised. The information triggered today was actually this? With a little attention, Qinyang noticed that every little while, Feng Danqing would move her neck and twist her waist. She looked very uncomfortable. Danqing, is your neck bothering you? Feng Danqing was slightly taken aback and sighed. Oh, it's an old problem. I've always had it. She reached out to massage her own neck and shoulders, which seemed quite difficult. Qinyang hesitated for a moment and said, how about I help you with a massage? Feng Danqing was stunned. For a moment, she didn't know how to respond. What did he mean? Concern? Or something ulterior? The key was, could he really massage? Don't just poke around and make it worse. Qinyang felt a bit regretful. Was he being a bit too forward? After all, they weren't that close yet. This kind of physical contact seemed inappropriate. Just as Qinyang was feeling anxious, Feng Danqing suddenly spoke. Then I'll trouble you. Her voice was as soft as an ant. Luckily, Qinyang had taken a special tonic, and his hearing was much sharper than usual, so he heard her clearly. Stunned for a moment, Qinyang slowly stood up and moved behind Feng Danqing. Her skin was pale, delicate, and slightly bony. A faint fragrance wafted into his nose. He placed his hands on her shoulders and began to knead. Yang squeezed a few times, and Feng Danqing suddenly let out a surprised sound. What's wrong? Does it hurt? Yang stopped and asked. Feng Danqing shook her head, signaling him to continue. She originally thought Yang was just casually pinching, but unexpectedly, after only 3 squeezes, her shoulders felt relaxed and refreshing. This was definitely not simple. Initially, she had agreed to let him massage her out of politeness. If she had refused, it would have been quite awkward for Yang. She truly didn't expect to gain unexpected benefits. Use a bit more strength. After a moment, Feng Danqing was no longer satisfied with just light scratching. She wanted something deeper. Yang increased the pressure and expanded the area of the massage. After another 2 minutes, she exclaimed, I can't take it anymore. My waist is also uncomfortable, and it's not convenient here. Feng Danqing rubbed her waist and looked up at Yang with a hint of pleading in her eyes. Can we go to my place? Please help me with a proper massage? Yang broke into a sweat and felt a bit nervous. Going to her home? The risk was not small. Is it convenient at your place? Yes, I live alone. Feng Danqing's face suddenly flushed. Sitting in Feng Danqing's white Cadillac, they quickly arrived at her residence, a luxurious suite, at least over 150 square meters, located in the best part of the city. The decor was lavish, and the transportation was convenient. Once the door was closed, the atmosphere in the room suddenly became a bit ambiguous with just the two of them. Please have a seat. Feng Danqing poured a glass of water for Yang. My waist isn't good, and my cervical spine hurts. It's been years. I've never been able to fix it. It's a work-related issue. Yang's heart stirred. Her problem seemed quite serious. Relying solely on his basic skills might not be enough to help her. He silently thought to himself, upgrade the massage technique. Ding. Consumed 10 points. The massage technique has been upgraded to level 2, minor success. Current points remaining, 110 points. Continue upgrading. Yang ordered again. Ding. Consumed 20 points. The massage technique has been upgraded to level 3, major success. Current points remaining, 90 points. Yang nodded inwardly. Achieving major success meant he could integrate various techniques. With the powerful capability of the upgraded massage technique, addressing lumbar strain and cervical discomfort should be a piece of cake. Even if one session wasn't enough, multiple sessions would surely cure it. Yang felt confident. Danqing, please lie down on the sofa. I'll massage your waist. Feng Danqing hesitated slightly, her face flushed, and slowly laid down on the large sofa. Yang sat beside her. I'm about to start, excuse me. He gently reminded her. Feng Danqing gave a barely noticeable nod. Yang activated the upgraded massage technique and began the massage. The effectiveness of the major success level was astonishing, warm but not hot, numb but not itchy. It stimulated and nourished from deep within the bones, muscles, and skin. After a full 40 minutes, he completed the treatment. The results were excellent. It was a serious massage, and Feng Danqing was very satisfied. Yang reminded her, take a shower, get a good night's rest, and you'll definitely feel refreshed in the morning. In a flash, Feng Danqing's face turned red to her ears. In a hurry, she jumped up and dashed into the bathroom. By the time she finished her shower and came out, Yang had already left. Feng Danqing let out a sigh of relief but felt an inexplicable sense of loss. On the way home, Yang tried hard to shake off the enchanting images in his mind. However, that damn alluring hand had a powerful effect and was hard to forget. What a temptation. Ding. You have earned 10 points. Current total, 100 points. Keep up the good work. Completing the task felt like a small victory. His points had risen to 100. And Yang felt much more secure. However, points were indeed a good thing. They could be used to upgrade skills. The effects after upgrading were significantly stronger than before. Once he tasted the benefits, Yang suddenly developed a strong interest in skills. Should he try drawing once more? Perhaps he could get an interesting skill, like lockpicking, singing, or dancing. Once the thought emerged, it was like a wild horse running free, hard to restrain. He initiated the random draw. Ding. System detected. You currently have 100 points. You can choose level 1, unreliable draw, which deducts 10 points each time, or level 2, abnormal draw, which deducts 50 points each time. What the heck? Yang was stunned again. What kind of nonsense is this? Level 1 is unreliable, and level 2 is abnormal? Is this system out of its mind? Should it be sent to a mental hospital to prevent it from harming society? Moreover, a ridiculous abnormal draw actually deducts 50 points. Is that reasonable? Is it considered overcharging? In this world, is there no one to rectify this? In the end, Yang still chose the unreliable draw. It was cheaper, only costing 10 points. Ding. Draw completed. Result, empty. 10 points deducted. Remaining points, 90. What the heck? As expected, the unreliable draw was indeed unreliable. The first attempt yielded nothing. He continued to draw. The second time, he again ended up with nothing. Damn it. Yang was a bit frantic. He had lost 20 points without getting anything in return. He vowed that if he ever became wealthy in the future, with points overflowing, he would never attempt the unreliable draw again. It was so infuriating. A huge pitfall. Continuing on. Ding. Would you like to choose the unreliable draw or the abnormal draw? What the heck? Qinyang almost lost his mind. Unreliable draw. Ding. Draw completed. Congratulations. You have obtained driving skills, entry level, God level driving. 10 points deducted. Remaining points, 70. In an instant, Qinyang felt a wave of dizziness in his brain. His muscles and nerves had a subtle tingling sensation. He had completely mastered the advanced driving skills, though unfortunately, it was just at a beginner level. Advanced driving? This skill wasn't too far-fetched. Once he bought a car in the future, he would be able to use it. Although he had already obtained his driver's license, the question remained, did he dare to drive? Could he get on the road? He knew the answer in his heart. This skill alleviated Qinyang's embarrassment. Just after getting out of the taxi, and before entering the hospital, a call came in from an unknown number. After some thought, Qinyang decided to answer it. Hello, who is this? The voice on the other end was deep and powerful, carrying a hint of mystery. Hello, Qinyang. My codename is Black Tiger. Please come to the Listening Wind Tea House for a meeting. Chapter 28. Villa Treasure, another windfall, Black Tiger? Qinyang was taken aback. What did this mean? An assassin? A spy? An agent? From his tone, it seemed there was no malicious intent. Could he be from a national security department? But what would this mysterious department want with him? Qinyang's heart raced. Had he done anything wrong recently? He had just made a couple of minor mistakes. Pressing the button twice couldn't be illegal, could it? Even if he had made a small error, it shouldn't alarm the security department, right? Calming himself down, Qinyang took another taxi to the Listening Wind Tea House. Nervously, he walked into the 8888 private room. Inside sat a man in his 30s. He had an ordinary appearance and dressed simply, the kind of person who would blend into a crowd without being noticed. Hello, I am Black Tiger. The man stood up and shook hands with Qinyang. May I ask who you are? Qinyang hesitantly inquired. Black Tiger closed the private room door, and the two sat down to drink tea and chat. After introductions, Qinyang learned that Black Tiger was indeed from a special department, but not the National Security Department. He was from the Military Intelligence Agency. As for the reason for the meeting, Black Tiger explained that Qinyang had reported spies multiple times, including Zhao Hai, Gao Fei, and Chang Xiaodian, all of whom were spies lurking in the Dragon Country. Especially Chang Xiaodian, who was involved in important military secrets, making the situation very complex. For the time being, they couldn't take action to avoid alarming the enemy. They needed to play the long game and catch the big fish, tracing back to the source and eliminating them from top to bottom. At this point, Qinyang already understood Black Tiger's identity, the head of the third group of the Special Operations Division of the Military Intelligence Agency, holding the rank of Major. His real name was concealed, and he was known by the code name Black Tiger. He hadn't expected the Military Intelligence Agency to take him seriously enough to send a group leader to meet him personally. Suddenly, Black Tiger sat up straight, his expression serious. Qinyang, in light of your special contribution this time, the higher-ups have decided to award you a cash reward of 150,000. I hope you remain humble and cautious, verify things carefully, and achieve new accomplishments. After speaking, he directly handed over a black leather bag. Qinyang opened it to find it filled with bundles of $100 bills. His heart soared. This reward was more than ever before. The case of Chang Xiaodian is becoming more serious and poses greater risks. After settling the renovation costs, only 25 million remains. Recently, 150,000 has been deposited, bringing total assets to 4 million. Not bad. It's another windfall. I'll buy a car tomorrow to reward myself. With a villa but no car. How can I go out conveniently in the future? A little show of status is necessary, right? Thank you, brother Hu. Qinyang sincerely appreciates Black Tiger. Black Tiger nods slightly. Qinyang, from now on, for all matters related to spies, contact me directly. Later, give me a bank account number. And all bonuses will be transferred directly there. So you won't have to carry a heavy bag every time, which is quite troublesome. Qinyang nods in agreement. All right. After scrutinizing Qinyang for a moment, Black Tiger suddenly speaks. Qinyang, how did you discover these spies? Qinyang is startled, but on the surface, he pretends to be indifferent. Brother Hu, I don't have any special skills. I just felt something was off, paid a little more attention, and sure enough, I found the problem. Black Tiger seems to ponder. Could it be that this young man has an extraordinary talent? An insight into detecting spies? Or perhaps intuition? A sixth sense? In any case, he is naturally suited for this line of work. Qinyang, are you interested in joining us? Black Tiger smiles broadly, as if luring a lost lamb. Qinyang is taken aback. Join your intelligence agency? Black Tiger nods. Isn't that inappropriate? Qinyang instinctively wants to refuse. What normal person would want to join a spy organization? Engaging in dangerous work daily, dancing on the edge of a knife, secretly competing with spies from various countries, using wits and courage, fighting bloodily. Most people simply cannot handle it. Black Tiger seems to anticipate that he wouldn't agree. Qinyang, you don't need to rush to refuse or agree. Take your time to consider it. However, even if you don't want to join, I have a good suggestion for you that would be beneficial without any harm. Would you like to hear it? Qin Yang's spirit lifts, intrigued. What good suggestion? Black Tiger smiles slightly, as if everything is under control. You can participate in our operations as an external member. You would directly belong to our Special Operations Division. Group 3, under my daily coordination. Usually, you wouldn't have to do anything, wouldn't be on the payroll, but if you have intelligence, you can receive bonuses. I will keep you updated with the latest information to facilitate your investigation. As long as you contribute, you will receive bonuses. If we need your assistance, you can choose to help or not. It won't affect your life at all. After all, you are just an external member, not on the payroll, and have no obligation. So, how about this identity? Qin Yang smiles. This suggestion is great. There is such an identity. No responsibilities or constraints. Yet I can obtain additional intelligence sources. As long as I know the general information, I can casually hang around and make connections. What secrets can I uncover? In the end, I will have a steady stream of bonuses. Haha, sounds good. I'm taking this external identity. Qin Yang agreed readily. Great. I'll make a record for you right away. The Black Tiger showed a hint of delight. With such a promising candidate. Once he gets involved with the intelligence agency and catches the eye of the Special Operations Department, how could he ever escape their grasp? Qin Yang, I need to specifically remind you about Chang Xiaotian. This person is quite special, involved in important military secrets, and we cannot act rashly for the time being. We need to continue surveillance and investigation. You have connections with Feng Danqing, which is just perfect. You can use this to get closer to Chang Xiaotian and strive to uncover more clues to provide intelligence support for the final operation. Are you willing to do this? Qin Yang nodded without hesitation. I am willing. This matter was initiated by him, so he certainly couldn't abandon the follow-up investigation halfway. Moreover, Chang Xiaotian's character is despicable. He deceives emotions and harms the country. He is lurking around Feng Danqing, posing a significant threat to her as well. Qin Yang definitely could not stand by and do nothing. By the time he returned to the hotel room, it was already 11:30 p.m. Qin Yang hurriedly washed up, his mind still replaying the conversation with the Black Tiger. He never expected that one day he would intersect with a department like the intelligence agency. Lying in bed, he couldn't sleep. Soon, it was past midnight, and he checked for updates on intelligence. Beep. Today's intelligence refreshed. Information 1. Chang Xiaotian has corrupted multiple military officials and collected important intelligence. He is expected to meet with his contact tomorrow. Information 2. Feng Danqing is restless and anxious. One moment it's about Chang Xiaotian, then company disputes, and the next it's about Qin Yang and his obsession with massage techniques. Information 3. In the lakeside villa, there is a hidden compartment in the study wall containing treasures worth over 100 million. Qin Yang was ecstatic. He jumped up from the bed. Worth over 100 million? Wouldn't that mean he could soar to new heights? Directly upgrading from a millionaire to a billionaire. Carefully examining the third piece of intelligence, the image was very clear. The treasure was hidden in the study wall of the lakeside villa. Qin Yang immediately sent a message to Feng Danqing. I suddenly remembered that we shouldn't touch the study for now. Let me check it out today, confirm the plan, and I'll communicate with you later. Sure enough, the second piece of intelligence was correct. So late, and Feng Danqing still hadn't gone to sleep. She replied immediately. Understood. I will inform the project manager not to enter the study for the time being. Qin Yang felt relieved. Thinking of Feng Danqing's troubles, he decided to take some time to see her today. If she needed a massage, he could help her out again to reinforce the effect. Thank you. Get some rest early. Next, Qin Yang checked the first piece of intelligence. That guy Chang Xiaotian is utterly insane. He has already corrupted several military personnel and gathered an important piece of intelligence. He is expected to meet with his contact tomorrow. Unfortunately, there are no hints in the intelligence report regarding the specific time, location, or whom to meet tomorrow. Qin Yang felt a bit worried. The Special Operations Department of the Military Intelligence Agency placed great emphasis on Chang Xiaotian. Not only because he was involved with several military personnel, but also likely due to this important intelligence. If this information were to be leaked, it could have a significant impact on the country's military technology. Qin Yang decided that he must investigate Changqing Company today and get close to Chang Xiaotian. Only in this way could he increase the chances of triggering the information and clarify the specifics. However, according to the intelligence, this person was very dangerous, exceptionally skilled, and carried firearms. Contacting him required extreme caution. After a good night's sleep, Qin Yang washed up and had breakfast. He immediately took a taxi to an automobile dealership and chose a white Jeep Wrangler, known for its excellent off-road capabilities. It looked sleek and elegant, providing a sense of freedom while driving. After completing the paperwork for the license plate and insurance, he spent 600,000. His total assets dropped from 2 million to 1.8 million. However, from now on, he was also a person with a house and a car, making him feel more established in Jiangqing. The next step was to have his own career, whether it was finding a high-paying job or starting his own business and becoming a big boss. As long as he didn't rely solely on passive income, anything was possible. Driving the Wrangler, Qin Yang headed straight to the lakeside villa. Having a car was great, especially with his top-notch driving skills, making the drive smooth and stable. It felt like no time had passed before he arrived at the villa. By mid-morning, many workers were already there, with some receiving goods and others busy with construction, creating a bustling atmosphere. Qin Yang entered the villa and went to the study. It was quiet inside, with no one around, and everything was kept as it was. He locked the door behind him. Following the intelligence clues, Qin Yang began to search the walls. Sure enough, he found a small mechanism. Gently pressing it, a hidden compartment opened up in the wall, revealing a dark space. Cautiously, he reached in and exclaimed. There was indeed something. He pulled out a large oilskin package, which he carefully unwrapped layer by layer. It was wrapped in 5 layers of oil paper, with very tight moisture-proof measures. Upon taking a look, he discovered that it contained ancient paintings and calligraphy, 12 pieces in total. Qin Yang didn't have much expertise in this area, but intuitively, they seemed to be valuable. He just didn't know how much they were worth. He could find out when he took them to an antique shop. He re-wrapped 11 of the pieces in oil paper, leaving one separately packaged. He planned to sell one first to test the waters. Selling too many at once could impact the market and lead to a drop in prices. After placing the artwork in his car, Qin Yang faced a dilemma: where to safely store treasures worth over 100 million. A rental house was definitely not secure. A hotel room was even less reliable. For now, he could only place them in the trunk of his car, but that still felt precarious. It would be wonderful to have a place like a storage backpack or a subspace, ensuring everything is foolproof. Ding! You have earned 10 points. Total accumulated points, 80 points. Keep it up. Points can be increased daily, which makes Qin Yang very happy. However, he always feels like he spends faster than he earns. After accumulating for so long, he only has 80 points. One cannot become wealthy without unexpected gains. The lucky draw, while not necessarily a good thing and easily addictive, is still the way to get rich quickly and change one's fate. Nevertheless, Qin Yang decided to avoid it as much as possible unless absolutely necessary. Once addicted, he could easily go down the wrong path. Sitting in the car, he dialed Feng Danqing's number. Danqing, are you at the office or at home today? Feng Danqing's voice sounded a bit tired. I'm at the office. Is there something you need? Qin Yang replied with a smile. Nothing much, just thought I'd drop by and chat about the villa renovation. Feng Danqing smiled slightly. All right, I'll wait for you in my office. After hanging up, Qin Yang drove directly to the Evergreen Decoration Design Company. This time, thanks to Feng Danqing's introduction, he walked straight into the company and was led to a large office by a secretary. The nameplate read, Vice President and Chief Designer, Feng Danqing. After the secretary announced him, Qin Yang entered the office. Feng Danqing immediately put down his work, stood up to greet him warmly, and waved the secretary away to personally brew a cup of tea for Qin Yang. Qin Yang, have you thought about how to renovate the study? Qin Yang chuckled. I went to take another look this morning and feel that the current layout is fine, so no major changes are needed. Just a simple decoration to make it look a bit newer. Feng Danqing said, all right, I'll design it personally, considering all the areas that need to be renovated, and strive to complete it quickly and well, giving you a beautiful and comfortable home. Qin Yang was very pleased. I trust you with this. By the way, how is your health? Feng Danqing's face showed a relaxed expression. Much better. Your skills are simply amazing. Many experts and traditional Chinese medicine practitioners couldn't treat my ailments. But under your care, the results were immediate. This morning, my back isn't sore and my shoulders don't hurt. I feel that after a few more massages, I'll be completely healed. Qin Yang laughed. No problem. Just give me a call when you're free in a couple of days. I'm available anytime. By the way, how's your company situation going? Feng Danqing rubbed his temples, clearly troubled. After all, we are not married, so there's no issue of infidelity. For the normal development of the company, I can only quietly integrate things internally without tearing down the facade. Currently, only half of the people have clearly expressed their support for me. The rest are either his staunch supporters or have ambiguous attitudes. It's quite challenging. Qin Yang comforted him. You don't need to worry too much. I estimate that Chang Xiaodian won't be able to maintain his carefree attitude for long and will definitely face the consequences of his actions. By then, when you stand up and call out, followers will naturally gather around you. Those who are stubborn, cunning, and lack principles have clearly revealed their true colors and have been swept out. What remains are your trusted allies, like-minded individuals, which is actually a good thing for the company, allowing for a complete transformation and rebirth. Feng Danqing looked at him in surprise. What news do you have? Qin Yang shook his head. Have you forgotten what I do? There are some things I can't say directly, but just be prepared to take over comprehensively. And don't worry too much. With that, he eased Feng Danqing's worries, and their conversation became more relaxed. Ding! Gained 10 points. Current total, 90 points. Keep it up. Every time Qin Yang heard the system notification, he felt a sense of joy in his achievements. During this time, he excused himself to use the restroom and took a stroll outside, intentionally getting close to Chang Xiaotian to trigger some intel. However, thinking of Chang Xiaotian's skills and the firearm he carried sent a shiver down his spine. This guy is a trained elite spy, a complete killing machine and a reckless person. If he discovers any risk of exposure, who knows if he would pull out his gun on the spot to eliminate the threat. Coincidentally, Chang Xiaotian also went to the restroom at the same time. The two stood side by side at the urinals, ready to relieve themselves. Chang Xiaotian suddenly turned his head and saw Qin Yang, a sharp glint flashing in his eyes. You're not an employee of the company, right? Have we met somewhere? Chapter 30. Madam seeks help. I'm in a dilemma in the men's restroom of Changqing Company. Facing Chang Xiaotian's scrutinizing gaze, Qin Yang remained calm and greeted him with a smile. Hello, Mr. Chang. I'm indeed not an employee of your esteemed company. However, this is my first visit, so you shouldn't have seen me before, right? Perhaps you are mistaken? At that moment, he appeared calm, but inside he was quite anxious, accidentally getting some urine on his hand. Chang Xiaotian studied him for a moment, his confusion deepening. Fortunately, Qin Yang's outfit this time was formal and businesslike, whereas his previous attire had been casual and relaxed, making a significant difference in demeanor. After pondering for a long time, Chang Xiaotian still came up empty. Are you here to discuss business with our company? Qin Yang smiled lightly. There's a small project I entrusted to Feng to assist with. Chang Xiaotian seemed to consider this. A client of Danqing, welcome. He spoke warmly, but his eyes were icy. Qin Yang felt an inexplicable chill and quickly decided to leave. Mr. Chang, see you later. With his objective achieved, there was no time to waste. Qin Yang walked out of the restroom at a leisurely pace and returned to Feng Danqing's office. She was on a call and gestured for him to sit for a moment. As it turned out, the call was from Han Feishue. Knowing Qin Yang was there, Han Feishue asked Feng Danqing to put the call on speaker. Qin Yang, you're with Danqing. Now that the deal is done, shouldn't you thank me for being the middleman? Before Qin Yang could respond, Feng Danqing had already expressed her disagreement. What's wrong with you? Han Feishue laughed. Qin Yang, I heard you bought a villa by the lake. Congratulations. I happen to have some free time this noon. Why don't you treat us to a meal? Qin Yang felt quite grateful to Han Feishue. Sure, you pick the place, and Danqing and I will be there shortly. Han Feishue chose a private dining restaurant. The food was quite good. The three of them were enjoying their meal when Han Feishue received a phone call, her expression changing drastically. Qin Yang and Feng Danqing quickly asked what happened. Han Feishue explained that the mayor's grandson had gone missing in a shopping mall. It had been 5 hours with no news. The mayor's family was frantic. It was likely that he had been abducted by human traffickers, and the longer it took, the lesser the chances of finding him. The police were currently making every effort to locate the child, but unfortunately, there were no leads. These human traffickers are truly lawless. Feng Danqing said angrily. Yes, it's appalling. Lei is so adorable. If Han Feishue couldn't bear to think further. Qin Yang was quite shocked. From the beginning, he had suspected that Han Feishue's background was not simple. He never expected her to be quite familiar with the mayor's family. 5 hours have passed. The situation is dire. Upon hearing this, Han Feishue became even more anxious. She grabbed Qin Yang's shirt and pleaded, Qin Yang, Uncle Li has been very good to me. And Lei is so well-behaved and cute. Please help them. Qin Yang frowned. If the entire city's police can't find him, what can I do? Han Feishue said. Aren't you a detective? Finding people should be your specialty, right? I believe you can help. Qin Yang immediately shook his head. Are you kidding? I'm not a real detective. Gathering intelligence is all thanks to the system. Investigating and finding people, I'm really not good at. I can't do it. Let us just wait for the police's news. Han Feishue was so anxious that she was about to cry. Qin Yang, I'm begging you. I know it's difficult. And I'm not saying you have to find him for sure. Just do your best, okay? Feng Danqing chimed in, yes. No one will blame you if you can't find him. But we can help look for him together. That would mean a lot. Qin Yang thought for a moment and agreed. If the child couldn't be found, he didn't know what kind of torment he would face. Would he be beaten and left to beg on the streets? Or would they harvest his organs, leading to his demise? Just thinking about it made him shiver. All right, I'll give it a try. He looked at Han Feishue. I need to meet Lei's family to gather more clues. Han Feishue wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes and nodded hurriedly. Okay, I'll take you to meet Uncle Li right now. As the mayor of the city, Li Junjiang held a high position and could mobilize all the police forces in the city with a single command. Unfortunately, it had been over 5 hours since his grandson went missing, and there was still no news. The entire family was as anxious as ants on a hot pan. His spouse, Zhang Huilan, was crying and feeling guilty, collapsing on the ground. It's all my fault for not keeping an eye on the child. This morning, Zhang Huilan took her grandson to the mall. Unexpectedly, when she turned around, the child was gone. Her son Li Jie and daughter-in-law Su Riyun supported each other. Looking lost and heartbroken, especially Su Riyun, as a mother, was deeply worried about her child and had already cried her eyes out. At this moment, Han Feishue arrived at the mayor's residence with Chun Yang and Feng Danqing. Uncle Li, have there been any news about Lei? Li Junjiang looked dispirited, seeming to have aged 10 years in an instant. It's Feishue. There is still no news about Lei, he replied. Han Feishue pointed at Qin Yang. Uncle Li, this is my friend, Qin Yang. He is a private detective and very skilled at gathering information. I specially invited him to help. Li Junjiang looked at Qin Yang. Noticing he was very young and just an unknown private detective, he didn't have much hope. After all, as a mayor, he had extensive connections. Many capable people had come to offer their help, but so far, there had been no results. However, due to Han Feishue's special status, Li Junjiang still felt he should show some courtesy and shook hands. Young man, thank you. Qin Yang responded calmly. Mayor Li, you're welcome. I hope I won't cause you any trouble. If possible, I would like to understand the situation at that time as much as I can. Li Junjiang immediately asked Han Feishue to take Qin Yang to find his wife Zhang Huilan and his son and daughter-in-law. He didn't want to waste his limited energy on such a fruitless endeavor. If the city's police force and various elite talents couldn't find his grandson, relying solely on an unknown young man was pointless. Therefore, he was in the process of using special connections to invite top domestic criminal investigation experts and child trafficking specialists to Jiangcheng to assist in the case. In the living room, Qin Yang had a brief chat with Li Jie and Su Riyun, but there weren't any significant insights. He then approached Zhang Huilan to inquire about the situation. Aunt Lan, this is Qin Yang, whom I specially invited to help find Lei, Han Feishue introduced. Zhang Huilan, filled with regret, looked at Han Feishue after hearing the introduction. Good child, thank you. Then, she turned to Qin Yang. The young man had an impressive appearance and exuded a sense of security. She grabbed Qin Yang's hand tightly and said excitedly, Young man, you must help me find my grandson. My poor grandson, where is he? Has he been harmed? Woo-woo. Qin Yang felt a surge of pressure. It was overwhelming. They were just offering a helping hand, doing their best to show their goodwill. But there was no guarantee that they could be of any real help. Beep. Trigger today's information. Information 4. Chapter 31. So crazy. Uncle can endure, but aunt cannot endure. Beep. Trigger today's information. Information 4. Lei was hidden in a suitcase by traffickers and taken out of the city by taxi to a rental house in the suburbs. An hour later, they set off for a city by the coast. The fourth piece of information today was incredibly powerful. What they thought of came to be. Qin Yang was in a state of anxiety, trying to find little Lei, when he happened to connect with Zhang Huilan, triggering today's intel. Qin Yang immediately called Li Jie and Su Riyun, and they jogged out the door. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing, unwilling to fall behind, followed closely behind Qin Yang and hopped into his white Jeep. With a quick ignition, the Jeep shot out like an arrow. Qin Yang's expression was serious as he focused on driving. The others remained silent, and the atmosphere in the car was unusually tense. Brother Chun, can I ask where we are actually going? Li Jie finally couldn't hold back. Now, their family was all worried about the child's whereabouts. Yet Qin Yang had inexplicably pulled them out. Naturally, their mood wasn't great. Qin Yang explained, Brother Li, I've already guessed where the traffickers are hiding. In an old rental house on the outskirts of the city. We're going to intercept them now, hoping that Lei hasn't been moved yet. Li Jie's heart warmed. Really? At that moment, he felt like a drowning person grasping for a straw. Qin Yang nodded. However, Su Riyun beside him appeared skeptical. Looking at Qin Yang, who seemed to be in his early 20s, he didn't look like someone capable or important. The most likely scenario was that he was just another sycophant trying to curry favor with the influential mayor, showing his face for a chance to gain some merit, regardless of whether they found the child or not. The key was, while they could flatter and seek connections, they couldn't gamble with the life of their beloved Lei. Mr. Chen, how do you know the traffickers are hiding on the outskirts? The entire city has deployed thousands of police officers, yet there hasn't been a single clue. You arrive and just find the place? Everyone could tell what Su Ruoyan meant, questioning Chun Yang's abilities and motives. Qin Yang frowned but said nothing. Han Feishue quickly intervened. Li Gu, Xiaozi, Qin Yang is my friend. I asked him for help today. As for how he knows, it's because he is a very skilled private detective. He can easily obtain information that ordinary people can't. Su Ruyun's expression turned a bit awkward. She lightly said, Oh, so he's a private detective. Although her words were few, they still conveyed a hint of distrust. How could a mere private detective surpass thousands of professional police officers? Seeing the atmosphere become a bit awkward, Li Jie quickly stepped in to ease the tension. In any case, we are still grateful for the enthusiastic help from Brother Chun and Feishue. Qin Yang remained silent, focused on driving. Time was extremely tight. In less than an hour, the traffickers would move Lei. It would take at least 40 to 50 minutes to drive to the outskirts. If they delayed even a moment on the road, they would surely miss the opportunity. At that time, once the traffickers moved, there was no other information available except towards a certain direction. Trying to find them again was like searching for a needle in a haystack. Therefore, it was a race against time, and every second counted. Under such circumstances, Qinyang naturally had no time to explain anything to Surun. At that moment, the vehicle was speeding ahead, driven by Chunyang's exceptional driving skills, maintaining a high speed amidst the dense traffic, almost reaching the speed limit. Like a fish, it darted left and right through the flow of cars, exceptionally agile. Suddenly, a yellow sports car roared up from the adjacent lane, attempting to cut in front of him. Qinyang certainly wouldn't allow that. Saving lives was as urgent as putting out a fire. There was no time to waste. Moreover, the other party didn't even use their turn signal and showed no courtesy while trying to cut in. Who would indulge such behavior? They could eat dust at the back. Qinyang pressed the accelerator, leaving the other car behind. Unexpectedly, 30 seconds later, the yellow sports car caught up with a loud roar, driving parallel to him. The window rolled down, and a middle finger was thrust out, accompanied by a barrage of insults. Get lost. Trash. Useless person. The lack of manners was outrageous. Qinyang's expression darkened, but he ignored it. He pressed the gas again, shaking off the other car once more. Why don't you curse back? People like that deserve a good lesson. Han Feishua said indignantly. Qinyang shook his head slightly. Now was not the time. Saving Lei was the top priority. Li Jia and Su Ruyun both nodded slightly. After all, Qinyang knew how to prioritize, always putting Lei's situation first. Just when they thought the matter was settled, the yellow sports car, seemingly crazed, caught up again. This time, it didn't drive parallel but surged ahead, suddenly swerving aggressively to change lanes, cutting directly in front of Chunyang's vehicle. This maneuver was extremely dangerous. Both vehicles were traveling at high speeds, and Qinyang had to brake hard to avoid crashing into the sports car. Fortunately, his exceptional driving skills were not a fluke. Though he was still a novice, he could easily outmatch an average experienced driver. He executed a series of rapid, controlled brakes, finally managing to slow down just 20 centimeters from a collision. Had they lost their minds? Su Ruoyan gasped in shock, unable to hold back her curses. How could someone in Jiang City be so reckless? Li Jia was also furious. It had been a dangerously close call. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing were pale with fright. Speechless, Qinyang's expression was grim. Clearly, they had crossed paths with some spoiled rich kid, used to being arrogant and domineering. However, for the sake of saving lives, Qinyang forced himself to stay calm, trying to accelerate and maneuver around the other car. To his surprise, as soon as he changed lanes, the other car did the same, mirroring his movements. Left, they went left. Right, they went right. A Ferrari was constantly blocking the front of the Mustang, preventing it from moving normally. What a nuisance. Good drivers shouldn't obstruct others. Qinyang couldn't hold back any longer and cursed out loud. Time was running out. If this continued, Lei would be taken away. Qinyang had to take a risky move. Utilizing his exceptional driving skills, he surged forward during a moment of distraction from the Ferrari, speeding past it. He overtook the Ferrari and accelerated to the maximum speed, racing towards the outskirts of the city. Li Jia, feeling anxious, glanced back and was frightened to see the yellow Ferrari roaring behind them, flooring the gas pedal and rapidly closing in, attempting to reclaim its position in front of the Mustang. Qinyang pressed the accelerator hard, trying to break free and not let the other driver succeed. The two cars collided with a loud screech. Both vehicles slammed on their brakes almost simultaneously, coming to a halt. As Qinyang got out of the car, a tall, skinny young man wearing a gold Rolex rushed out from the Ferrari, looking aggressive. He pointed at Qinyang and shouted, "Hey, do you even know how to drive? You blind fool, you scratched my supercar. Can you pay for that?" Chapter 32, Speeding. The sister-in-law is about to cry. The rich second generation was extremely arrogant, spewing insults. However, Qinyang remained calm and composed. He had only one goal, to avoid escalating the conflict. For the sake of saving someone, he could tolerate a bit of ego. "Hello, sir. I regret that our cars have collided. How much do you think the compensation should be? If it's not too much, I hope we can resolve this privately right here." Qinyang wanted to settle the matter quickly. He didn't want to waste time arguing over a trivial issue when he needed to save a child. Compensation? The rich second generation looked at Qinyang with disdain. "Do you even know how much my Ferrari is worth? Can you afford it? Selling your junk car wouldn't even cover it." Qinyang tried to suppress his anger. "Just tell me a price. 500,000. Not a penny less." The rich second generation held out his palm in front of Qinyang. "Kid, you can't come up with that, can you? If you can't, you're not going anywhere." 500,000. Qinyang was taken aback. For a minor scrape, he wanted that much? This guy was clearly trying to extort him. Initially wanting to pay to avoid trouble, it seemed that wouldn't be possible now. "Alright, since we can't agree, let us take some photos for evidence. I have urgent matters to attend to. Here's my number. You can call the police and wait for them to arrive. Don't worry. I'll abide by whatever the police decide regarding the compensation." After saying that, Qinyang turned to head back to his car. However, the rich second generation blocked his way in front of the Mustang. "Want to leave? No way. You're not going anywhere until you pay." Yang was now frantic. There was a strong impulse to rush forward and kick that guy away. On the car, Li Jie saw the rich second generation not letting anyone leave and hurriedly got out of the vehicle. Just as he was about to speak, a person got out of the yellow Ferrari across from him. It was a beautiful woman, a stunning campus belle. Li Jie stopped mid-sentence. Yang was stunned. The rich second generation was full of himself, grinning. Xiao Yu, why did you come down? Just watch the show from the car. If I don't make him pay through the nose today, I won't be called Huang Sanjin. The beauty, however, looked at Yang with a complex expression. Yang, is that you? Is this car yours? Yang was dazed and didn't answer directly, just murmured, Bai Xiaoya? Bai Xiaoya frowned slightly, feeling that her question was unnecessary. She knew what kind of person Yang was. How could he afford a Wrangler? Although it was worth only a few $100,000, it couldn't compare to a Ferrari. However, it was still something that someone like Yang, who seemed to be struggling financially, could hardly dream of. She glanced at Li Jie, who exuded an air of nobility. This car was likely his. Yang was either his driver or just a substitute driver. Where would he get the money to compensate 500,000? Bai Xiaoya walked over, wrapped her arms around Huang Sanjin's, and said softly, Huang Xiao, I know this person. He is my old classmate. Just let him off this time. Huang Sanjin was a bit surprised. He pointed at Yang with his index finger. Him? Your classmate? Bai Xiaoya nodded and nudged his arm. Yes, everyone has a few poor relatives. Huang Xiao, you're magnanimous, just let him go. Huang Sanjin curled his lips, dismissively saying, I don't even want to bother with someone like him. He can't even afford the repair costs. What is the point in stepping on him? No sense of achievement at all. However, if you agree to my previous request, Bai Xiaoya feigned shyness, twisting her waist. Huang Xiao, you're so bad. Whatever you say goes. Huang Sanjin laughed heartily, looking at Yang. Kid, don't be blind in the future and clash with me again. Today, for Bai Xiaoya's sake, I'll let you off. Get lost. After saying that, he wrapped his arm around Bai Xiaoya's waist and cleared the way, swaggering back. Yang's face changed from green to white. He wanted to stop the two, but held back. Turning around, he got into the car, stepped on the gas, and sped away. The vehicle roared down the road like a fierce beast. Time was tight, which was one reason. The other reason was that Yang was in a bad mood. He had a fire burning inside him, holding back a breath that had to be released. Soon, Han Feishue and Feng Danqing noticed that Yang's expression was off. Moreover, Yang's behavior towards Bai Xiaoya just now was also unusual. The two women exchanged glances, and it was clear they understood each other. There was definitely a story between Yang and Bai Xiaoya. Yang, that beauty just now was quite pretty. You two are old classmates? Han Feishue asked tentatively. Yang was silent for a moment before answering in a low voice. Yes. Bai Xiaoya, my high school classmate. A campus belle. She was also my past white moonlight. This is an unresolved knot in his heart, and one of the reasons why he has been reluctant to touch upon feelings over the years. Unexpectedly, today, under such circumstances, they meet again, catching him off guard. Back then, Yang lost to money, and it seems that today, he is still losing to it. Bai Xiaoya appears to be doing quite well. If Yang wants to untie this knot, he must stand tall in front of her, which likely means he needs to continue making money. Only by becoming sufficiently wealthy can he prove how wrong her choices were back then, and perhaps make her regret her decision. The story is quite dramatic. Yet it remains a lasting pain in Yang's heart, an insurmountable hurdle. He must resolve this emotional knot in order to face feelings anew. Seeing Yang downcast, everyone refrains from mentioning Bai Xiaoya again. However, Li Jie takes out his phone and dials a reporting hotline, briefly describing Huang Sanjin's speeding and near-traffic accident to the traffic police department. He believes Huang Sanjin will soon face appropriate consequences. Half an hour later, a white SUV screeches to a stop in front of a rental house in the suburbs. Yang pushes the door open and rushes into the house, only to find it empty. He is a step too late. The gray van outside is also nowhere to be seen. Li Jie and Su Ruyun follow closely behind. Rushing into the house, their faces instantly changing color. Lele, my child, where did you go? Su Ruyun is on the verge of breaking down. Yang feels a headache coming on. He turns to Li Jie and says, hurry, chase after them. They quickly get back into the car, ready to head towards Binzhou. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing quickly urge Su Ruyun to get in the car. The SUV roars onto the main road. While driving, Yang reminds everyone, pay attention. The traffickers are driving a gray van with a fake license plate. They will definitely change to a temporary plate. If you see similar vans, stay calm, observe, and see if there is anything suspicious. We will adapt as needed, block the vehicle, and capture the traffickers. The most important thing is to safely rescue the child. Everyone nods in agreement. The car speeds down the road, reaching the highway toll station. Along the way, they do not see a single suspicious vehicle. With no other option, they have to enter the highway and continue the pursuit. On the highway, there are many vehicles and the speed is high. Yang pushes the speed to the limit. Racing forward, Several times, they almost encounter accidents, which keeps everyone on edge, breaking out in cold sweat. Their hands grip the armrests tightly, hearts racing. Chapter 33. Chasing for 300 miles. Can you stop the car, big brother? To be honest, Qin Yang is also quite scared. This reckless driving could cost him his life. In order to be fast yet safe, Qin Yang has an idea and calls upon the system to upgrade his driving skills directly to level 3. Ding! Driving skills are starting to upgrade. Consumed 30 points. God level driving upgraded to level 3. Great mastery level. Current points remaining, 70. A tingling sensation spreads through his body. Muscle control and neural responses have all undergone subtle changes. It's quite mystical, something that can only be understood intuitively, not explained. Qin Yang maneuvers the vehicle with ease, as if it were an extension of his own body. Every operation is a reflex, executed with precision. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. He overtakes cars in a fluid and natural manner. The passengers inside the car barely feel any bumps or jolts. It's exceptionally smooth. Such performance is difficult even for top drivers. Yet, Qin Yang accomplishes it effortlessly, without a hint of pressure. The drastic change in driving style, safe and fast, surprises everyone. They find Qin Yang to be an enigma, always hard to figure out. Fortunately, the tense atmosphere finally relaxes. Suddenly, Li Jie shouts, "Look, there's a car ahead. Could it be a trafficker?" Qin Yang's spirit jolts. He slams on the gas and accelerates forward. Su Ruiyan grabs Li Jie's shirt, asking, "Is Lele in the car?" Li Jie pats her hand reassuringly. "Don't worry. Let us check it out." They rush closer and see an old man, while the trafficker is a middle-aged man in his 40s. The intel image clearly shows it's not him. Qin Yang mutters something and speeds off again, leaving everyone disappointed. Su Ruiyan's tears circle in her eyes, holding back from spilling over, yet her gaze remains fixed ahead, unblinking. "Hey, hubby, there's a car ahead, I see it?" Suddenly, Su Ruiyan screams. Li Jie looks closely and indeed spots a gray van. His eyes light up immediately. Without needing a reminder, Qin Yang floors the accelerator and rushes forward, driving alongside it. Glancing over, he realizes, damn, the windows are tinted. It's too dark to see clearly. Anxiety fills the car. This mysterious figure likely has something to hide. Qin Yang presses the gas pedal, propelling the car forward. He turns to look back, but everyone's eyes blink rapidly, unable to discern anything. Qin Yang's vision, however, is exceptionally sharp. He silently shakes his head. It's a female driver, not a trafficker. Not her. Qin Yang continues to accelerate. A sense of profound disappointment envelopes the car, and everyone falls silent. Su Ruiyan looks at Li Jie, her eyes filled with deep disappointment and endless grievance. Li Jie gently comforts her. After another 20 kilometers, Su Ruiyan shouts again, "There's a car ahead. This one has to be it. Quick, accelerate. Catch up." Her tone is urgent, almost commanding. Qin Yang remains silent, focusing on the pursuit. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing furrow their brows, but they hold their tongues. As they get closer, the driver turns out to be a middle-aged man, fitting Qin Yang's description perfectly. "Damn trafficker, give me back my son." Su Ruiyan is furious, urging Qin Yang, "Hurry, get closer, force him to stop. Save my son." Everyone was excited, just waiting to take action against that despicable trafficker. Unexpectedly, Qin Yang coldly replied, "It's not him." With a quick press of the accelerator, the vehicle surged ahead. Everyone was stunned. How could it not be him? Su Ruiyan was anxious. "You didn't even look closely. How do you know it's not him? Gray van, middle-aged man. Fits your description perfectly. How could it not be him?" "What do you mean? Were you just talking nonsense from the start to deceive us? Just to gain a favor from the mayor, you disregard the child's life? What are your intentions?" A barrage of questions, accusations, and hurtful words poured out of Su Ruiyan's mouth. As she spoke, she began to cry, her sobs heart-wrenching. Li Jie wore a grim expression, remaining silent. Han Feishue wanted to stop Su Ruiyan, opened her mouth, but couldn't say anything. The life and death of the child were uncertain, and the urgency was overwhelming. In such a situation, it was understandable for a mother to be flustered and emotional, leading her to say some harsh words. Feng Danqing glanced at Qin Yang, wanting to remind him if he had overlooked something. "Are you sure the trafficker is still ahead? Is it possible that the person we just saw was him in disguise?" In response to Feng Danqing's kind reminder, Qin Yang calmly said, "I can't be 100% sure he is ahead, but I can guarantee that it's definitely not the person we just saw. Damn it. It's all that Huang Sanjin's fault. If it weren't for his nonsense delaying us, we could have reached the rental place within an hour, caught the trafficker, and rescued the child. This situation wouldn't have happened, and we wouldn't be dealing with all this nonsense." The clues were vague, there was no direction, and now there was infighting. If we really can't find him, where would he go to explain? Wouldn't he just be blamed by everyone? The vehicle continued to speed ahead. With 10 kilometers left before exiting the highway to reach Binzhou City, all leads would be lost. Qin Yang's heart sank bit by bit. Hope was becoming increasingly dim. "Look, there's a vehicle ahead." Suddenly, Han Feishue excitedly pointed out. Qinyang focused his gaze. And sure enough, it was a gray van. Su Riyun began to murmur, I pray to the heavens, please protect Lele. I pray to the heavens, please protect Lele. Meanwhile, Li Jie silently prayed. This time it has to be him. This time it has to be him. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing held hands together, encouraging and comforting each other. A huge sense of anticipation filled the entire vehicle. Qinyang acted swiftly, instantly catching up to the van. A quick glance confirmed it. Yes, it was this guy? Excitement surged. Qinyang suppressed his emotions and whispered, everyone, don't get excited, stay calm. This person is the trafficker. However, Lele was in the car, and we couldn't crash into it or force him, as that would lead to a disastrous outcome. It would be best to come up with a way to lure him into stopping. Li Jie was nervously sweating. Could we pretend to ask for help to get him to pull over? Everyone nodded. Han Feishue volunteered, saying, I'll give it a try. As a girl, he might not be as cautious. Li Jie thought for a moment and agreed. Qinyang also felt it was worth a shot. The key was that in such a desperate situation, there was no better plan. The car window rolled down, revealing Han Feishue's stunning beauty. The others inside the car held their breath, anxiously waiting. The trafficker, Zhu Yukai, was experienced and very alert. He was hiding his whereabouts and fleeing, preparing to quickly take the child to a nearby city, ready to act immediately. He would not linger for even a second. Turning his head, he saw a beautiful woman's face peeking out from the side of a white SUV. Her voice was sweet and charming. Hello, big brother. Our car has some trouble. Could you please pull over and help us take a look? On the highway, Zhu Yukai greedily stared at the beauty, drooling. Wow, this woman is incredibly beautiful. I've never seen anyone this stunning in my life. Unfortunately, someone like her would never be interested in a person like him. Sorry, I have urgent matters to attend to. It's not convenient. You should find someone else. It must be said that Zhu Yukai was indeed very cautious. Han Feishue didn't give up and continued calling out. Big brother, you look like a good person. Could you please help us? Our car is really dangerous, and I'm so scared. If you could stop and help, I would be very grateful. As she spoke, she tugged at her collar, hinting that there would be a generous reward. Zhu Youcai's eyes sparkled, and he nearly drooled. However, he suddenly sensed something was off after looking around. He slammed on the gas and sped away, quickly putting distance between them, ignoring Han Feishue. Han Feishue retracted her head from outside the car with a frustrated expression. Li Gu, I'm sorry, I messed it up. Li Jie was also disappointed but didn't want to blame her. Qinyang comforted her, don't feel bad. This guy is very sharp. He noticed that there were cars all around us, and we were only focusing on him, which raised his suspicion. It's not your fault. Han Feishue felt a warmth in her heart. Qinyang was already operating the vehicle, chasing after him. Li Gu, call the traffic police, report the situation, and have them set up a checkpoint ahead to intercept him. Remember, we must prevent the trafficker from panicking and crashing through. Li Jie immediately made the call. Qinyang continued to pursue, trying to force the other car to stop. With the performance of the vehicle and Qinyang's driving skills, the trafficker would definitely not escape. However, with a child in the car, Qinyang was cautious and didn't dare to push too hard. If an accident occurred and the child got hurt, it would be too late for regrets. The chase continued. The human trafficker refused to stop, even as he approached the highway exit, where he was intercepted by a group of traffic police. He halted the vehicle but then, like a monkey, climbed over the fence and escaped. Dozens of officers chased after him, but he kept getting further away. Qinyang couldn't stand by and let him get away again to harm others. The abduction of children had shattered countless families. He had to be caught to eliminate the threat to the community. Since taking the cleansing pill, Qinyang had grown taller and his stamina had greatly improved. In terms of speed, he was much stronger than an average person. Within less than a kilometer, he managed to kick the trafficker down and pin him to the ground, rendering him immobile until the police arrived to take him away. When Qinyang returned to the vehicle, Li Jie and the others had already found the suitcase in the van. They opened the locks and rescued the child. Lele, Lele. Su Riyun called out anxiously, but the child remained in a deep sleep. Li Jie was terrified and at a loss. Su Riyun was heartbroken, crying uncontrollably. Son, wake up. Mommy and Daddy are here to save you. Unfortunately, after shouting for a long time, the child still did not wake up. Checking for a pulse, it was faint, as if he could stop breathing at any moment. Li Jie grew even more anxious. Quick, call for an ambulance. Su Riyun held the child close, pressing her face against his, crying until her voice was hoarse, her tears flowing endlessly. The child was in a critical situation. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing stood by, feeling helpless, and could only assist in calling for an ambulance. Qinyang felt a rush of panic. He approached the child, carefully took him, and gently laid him on the ground. Using his right hand, he activated his special technique, applying gentle pressure. What are you doing? Su Riyun exclaimed. Having her child taken away, like a protective hen, she spread her arms wide, ready to fight. But Qinyang ignored her and continued his focused massage. Han Feishue was puzzled and worried about what Qinyang was doing. Would this cause more trouble? Feng Danqing rushed over and grabbed Su Riyun. She understood how powerful Qinyang's hands were and thought this time, it might actually work. Don't worry, he's treating him. Li Jie, slightly calmer, managed to reassure his wife. He watched Qinyang's actions with skepticism. Everyone kept their eyes on Qinyang, concerned for the child, hoping for a miracle. Time passed slowly, and after 5 agonizing minutes, the child finally woke up, took a deep breath, and started to cry. Su Riyun was filled with mixed emotions, stumbling over to embrace her child. Son, you're finally awake. You scared mommy to death. Han Feishue let out a long breath. It was a relief that the child was saved. Just a few minutes ago, she had been extremely worried. If anything had happened to the child, the mayor's family would surely blame Qinyang. His life would have been very difficult afterward. But now, after the storm, a rainbow was sure to appear. Indeed, Li Jie approached Qinyang and deeply bowed as a gesture of gratitude. Brother Chen, thank you so much. I was so excited that I couldn't find the words. Suddenly, Su Riyun, holding her child, rushed in front of Qinyang. Thud. She knelt down on both knees. Her expression was very complex, filled with gratitude and regret. Brother Chen, thank you. I really appreciate it. If it weren't for you, I can't imagine the tragic ending for our family and Lele. Qinyang was taken aback and hurried over to help her up. He reached out his hand, but then pulled it back. He quickly signaled to Han Feishue and Feng Danqing to help him. Sister-in-law, please don't do this. You shouldn't. But Su Ruiyun did not get up. Instead, she looked remorseful. Brother Chun, I am a short-sighted woman. Please don't take it to heart. I apologize for what I said before. Please forgive me. Qinyang gestured to Han Feishue to help her up quickly. Sister-in-law, it's really not necessary. I can understand a mother's feelings. Qinyang also asked Li Jie for help. Together with Han Feishue and Feng Danqing, they finally helped Su Riyun up. Everyone was delighted and gathered around the child to entertain her. Suddenly, Lele looked at Qinyang. Uncle, I want a hug. Everyone stared at Qinyang in confusion. Qinyang was also stunned, awkwardly hugging Lele. She was only 3 years old, with tiny arms and legs, very cute. Uncle, your hands are very comfortable. I want to play more. Qinyang suddenly realized and laughed. Lele is amazing. Let us go home first, and later Uncle will definitely play with you. Li Jie was very emotional. This child has a connection with Brother Chun. He immediately decided to have Lele recognize Qinyang as her godfather. Su Riyun, Han Feishue, and Feng Danqing were all shocked by Li Jie's idea. Qinyang was also taken aback. Isn't this inappropriate? He quickly refused, unwilling to accept. Li Jie was anxious, not knowing how to express his gratitude. He took out a bank card and forcefully shoved it into Qinyang's hand. Brother, there's 100. 000 in the card. It's a little savings of mine. Please accept it as Lele's respect for you. Even though Qinyang usually loved money and never turned down opportunities to earn, he felt a bit embarrassed today. Discussing money in front of a child would mislead her, wouldn't it? Li Gu, I really can't accept this money. I truly can't. For the first time in his life, Qinyang refused money. Possibly. It would be the only time. Finally, Li Jie changed his approach. Brother Chen, how about this? I feel a connection with you and would like to be brothers by oath. How does that sound? When Qinyang heard this, he was taken aback. The mayor's son wants to be my brother? And wants to climb higher? If he didn't agree, wouldn't that be rejecting him? With no other choice. Qinyang reluctantly nodded in agreement. Li Jie was overjoyed. Let us go home. Everyone on site was happy for them. In modern society, it's rare to see such deep bonds formed among individuals. At this moment, Mayor Li Junjiang also called, relieved to hear that his grandson was rescued and everything was fine. He was greatly comforted. Upon learning that it was all thanks to Qinyang, who saved his grandson's life and became brothers with his son Li Jie, he hurriedly said, come back quickly. I want to host a banquet for Qinyang and toast him well. Chapter 35. Who is this kid? Truly impressive. Mayor Li Junjiang's words carried significant weight. A prominent mayor specifically hosting a banquet for Qinyang and personally toasting him, not just once. What a remarkable honor. How many people can boast such treatment? Everyone was filled with joy. Lele was successfully rescued. The trafficker was caught, and Qinyang became brothers with Li Jie. Each of these events was a cause for celebration. In the vehicle, laughter filled the air, especially Han Feishue, who was very excited. Introducing Qinyang and taking on this task was truly thrilling and full of twists and turns. Although no money was earned, the benefits gained far surpassed anything monetary. Jiangsheng is a city with a highly developed economy, boasting a population of 10 million and substantial strength. As a prominent mayor, the influence he held was certainly not to be underestimated. With such backing, Qinyang would find everything smooth sailing as long as he stayed within the law. Such benefits are incomparable to mere tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 80 points. Keep it up. Qinyang felt slightly comforted despite his regrets. Although he didn't earn money, his points couldn't be lessened. Every point gained meant his foundation was becoming stronger. He vowed that from now on, he would never engage in a business that did not make money. This time, he didn't collect any payment. Only asking for a favor. This was the first and last time. Favors could be unpaid, but money must be given. This was his principle in doing business. In the car, Li Jie and Su Ryun were tightly hugging Lele, enjoying the joy of having survived the ordeal. Han Feishue and Feng Danqing were also smiling broadly. Everyone was in high spirits, laughter resonating throughout. However, at this moment, Huang Sanjin was in a terrible mood. He had done something satisfying today, giving a good slap in the face to the poor. He intended to embrace Bai Xiaoya and brainstorm some new ideas, unlocking a new approach. Unexpectedly, he received a call from the traffic police, notifying him of speeding and unsafe driving, resulting in a 12-point deduction and suspension of his license. He must retake driving lessons and re-examine for his license. Otherwise, he would never be able to drive again. Bang! Huang Sanjin slammed the car angrily, roaring in frustration. Damn it! It must be that poor guy pulling tricks on me. I let him off easy, and he actually stabbed me in the back. I will make him pay. Beside him, Bai Xiaoya was so scared she trembled, keeping her distance and not daring to approach. Come here. Bai Xiaoya quivered in fear. However, he could only slowly gather himself. That person, isn't he your classmate? What is his name? Huang Sanjin said fiercely. Qin Qingyang. Bai Xiaoya's teeth were chattering. I really want to teach him a lesson right now. Tell me, what methods can we use? Huang Sanjin said ominously. Tonight at the Li residence. Laughter and cheer filled the air, bustling with activity. In the main hall, a few offerings were symbolically placed, along with an incense burner, presided over by Li Junjiang. Qin Yang and Li Jie knelt down to bow their heads, officially becoming sworn brothers. Zhang Huilan, Su Ryun, the little friend Lele, Han Feishue, Feng Danqing, and others all witnessed the ceremony. Big brother, second brother, Qin Yang and Li Jie officially became sworn brothers of different surnames. Clap, clap, clap. A burst of warm applause erupted. Li Junjiang laughed heartily. Good. Let us get ready to feast. Tonight I want to drink a few more cups. Zhang Huilan shot a glance at the old man, but didn't say much more. She looked at Qin Yang, her face showing a kind smile. Thanks to this child. Otherwise, their only grandson would have been lost. He is the only hope of the Li family, the lifeblood of the whole family. Qin Yang is a great benefactor to them. Now that he has sworn brotherhood with her son, they will be family from now on. A joyous occasion indeed calls for a few drinks. Li Junjiang took his seat at the dining table and immediately beckoned Qin Yang. Come on, Yangzi. Come sit next to me. Today you are the honored guest. I want to toast you properly. How can you drink from so far away? Qin Yang quickly stood up, declining. Mayor, how can I, a junior, let you toast me? Before he could finish, he was interrupted by Li Junjiang. Yangzi, you have recognized Li Jie as your big brother. How can you still call me mayor? Shouldn't you change how you address me? Qin Yang rubbed his temples, feeling a bit awkward. Uncle Li. Ah. Li Junjiang beamed, pulling Qin Yang to sit beside him. Qin Yang wanted to let Li Jie take the seat, but was vetoed by Li Junjiang. He is your big brother, but today is your first time eating at our house. So your big brother has to give way to you. From today on, I declare that you are part of our family, the youngest child in our family after Lele. Everyone will have to accommodate you. You must come over often to eat and play, just like at your own home. If Li Jie bullies you in the future, just tell me, and I'll stand up for you. Li Jie looked bitter. How did it come to this that I would bully my second brother? From now on, my status in this family is increasingly concerning. Zhang Huilan chimed in with a smile. That's right, I'll prepare a room for you upstairs. After you finish eating and drinking, you can stay over. That bedroom will be yours from now on. At that moment, Qin Yang was truly moved. His eyes were a bit moist. Under the lights, they shimmered with a glistening sheen. Uncle Li, and Zhang, thank you. Zhang Huilan waved her hand with a smile. You child, what are you thanking us for? If anything, it's our whole family that should be thanking you. If it weren't for you, Zhang Huilan suddenly felt a wave of fear. Tears couldn't help but fall, and gentle sobs were heard. Su Ryun felt the same way. Her eyes instantly reddening. The atmosphere turned a bit sorrowful. However, Li Junjiang remained more carefree. With a wave of his hand, he said, What are you all doing? It's a day of great joy, why cry? Hurry up and take your seats. The feast is about to begin. Everyone quickly took their seats. At that moment, a young man in his 30s walked in from outside. He was neatly dressed in a white shirt, black trousers, and black leather shoes, still in a work mode. Upon entering, he greeted everyone, Mayor, Aunt Zhang, brotherly, sister-in-law, hello. He was very familiar with them. Li Junjiang smiled and said, Huaizhi, you're here. Quickly take a seat. The feast is starting soon. The young man, named Wang Huaizhi, consciously sat at the end of the table and naturally took on the role of pouring wine. Qin Yang was slightly taken aback, trying to guess his identity. If he wasn't a relative, he must be a secretary or a driver. As Wang Huaizhi poured the wine, he suddenly sensed something was off. An unfamiliar young man, unremarkable in appearance, was actually sitting next to the mayor, overshadowing Aunt Zhang and Brother Li. Given his young age, what right did he have to such honor? To be honest, Wang Huaiji, not yet 30, was already serving as the mayor's secretary, equivalent to a deputy county head. If he worked for another 2 years and got promoted, he would be a county leader. Such achievements were rare not only in Jiang City, but also throughout the Jiangnan region. All along, Wang Huaiji held himself in high regard and looked down on other young people. Among his peers, he only felt a slight awe towards Li Jie. Otherwise, he always regarded himself as superior. Upon seeing Chen Yang's lofty demeanor, he felt uncomfortable and displeased. The main feeling was jealousy. I don't even have that much swagger. So why are you acting so impressive? What qualifications and abilities do you have? Who do you think you are? Chapter 36. Impulsive after drinking. Overnight riches at the Li family banquet. Wang Huaiji calmly poured wine around before returning to his seat, quietly observing. As a secretary, reading the room was his basic skill. Today, Qinyang was an unknown variable. He needed to understand the situation and find a way to cope. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to handle things smoothly and might even make a significant mistake, which he absolutely could not allow. The banquet officially began. Li Junjiang picked up his chopsticks and signaled, Yangzi, eat some dishes first to fill your stomach. Huh. Wang Huaiji was even more surprised. What kind of person was this young man to receive such courtesy from the mayor? Right from the start, without greeting anyone else. The first to be invited to eat was him. What was going on? Usually, only Lele received such treatment. What was happening today? Was the sun rising from the west? After eating a few bites, Li Junjiang raised his wine glass and stood up to toast Qinyang. Yangzi, this first glass of wine is to thank you on behalf of our whole family, and to welcome you. I won't say much, everything is in the wine. Cheers. Without waiting for Qinyang to speak, he tilted his head back and downed his drink. Wang Huaiji was stunned by this. In the 3 years he had known him, he had never seen the mayor drink so freely. Moreover, he even stood up to toast Qinyang. This kind of treatment, aside from high-ranking officials from the provincial government or central authorities, who else could receive such honor? What kind of person is this? What merits does he have to earn the mayor's respect? At that moment, Qinyang stood up, raised his glass, and smiled, saying, Uncle Li, you flatter me. From now on, this is also my home, and you are my elder, so please don't put me on a pedestal. After saying that, he lifted his glass and drank it all in one go, without any hesitation. Li Junjiang laughed heartily. Ha! Good, Yangzi is right. From now on, we are one family. So it's better to be casual. He sat down and suddenly remembered something, pointing at Wang Huaiji to introduce him to Qinyang. Yangzi, this is my secretary. Wang Huaiji. After that, he introduced Qinyang as well. Huaiji, this is your brother Li's friend, Qinyang. Come, let us toast to your brother Yang. Wang Huaiji understood immediately and filled his glass, bringing it over. He greeted Qinyang warmly. Hello, brother Yang. It's a pleasure to meet you for the first time. I look forward to your guidance. I'll drink to you first. He lowered his stance and took the lead in drinking. Qinyang raised his glass and stood up. Smiling lightly, Secretary Wang, you're too polite. It's an honor to meet you for the first time. After saying that, he took a small sip, really just making a casual gesture. Wang Huaiji, seeing this, felt frustrated and almost spat blood. The shadow in his heart was overwhelming. What the heck? Are you really that foolish or just pretending? I was just being polite, yet you took it so lightly? Don't you understand the ways of the world? This guy looks to be in his early 20s at most. No matter how you put it, I should be older than him. Yet here I am, bowing to him while he is treating me like an elder. I traveled a long way to get here, and he is as steady as a mountain, not moving an inch. I drank it all down, and he just takes a casual sip. What kind of world is this? I'm a dignified mayor's secretary, a deputy county-level leader. In the city, at various departments, I'm always treated with respect. But here, I'm suddenly made to feel inferior? Where can I go to seek justice? Since becoming the mayor's secretary, this is the first time I've felt so aggrieved. It's really hard to understand. I've been with the mayor for 3 years, and I know all his relatives, friends, and acquaintances. I've never heard of someone like Qinyang. Where did he come from? Is he someone Li Jie knows? With questions in mind, Wang Huaiji began to toast Li Junjiang, Zhang Huilan, Li Jie, and others one by one. As he continued to toast, he became increasingly astonished. Not only did Mayor Li Junjiang treat Qinyang with great respect, but even Zhang Huilan, Li Jie, and Su Riyun were incredibly warm towards him. Even Xiao Lele was very welcoming to Qinyang, and at one point, she even clung to him and refused to come down. The most terrifying part was that from their conversation, Wang Huaiji discovered a shocking piece of news. They actually prepared a room in their home specifically as Qinyang's bedroom. What does this mean? Could it be that Qinyang is the illegitimate son of the mayor? Or perhaps he is their long-lost younger son who has now returned to acknowledge his roots. Wang Huaiji was startled by his own thoughts. The implications were quite frightening. From then on, he dared not underestimate Qinyang in the slightest. This person, even if not the son of the Li family, held a status that could rival Li Jie. Such a noble figure certainly deserved special attention. He approached with great enthusiasm, making sure his glass was set lower than Chen Yang's. He downed the drink in his cup and said, "Brother Yang, if you need anything in the future, just give me a shout. As long as I can help, I will do my utmost to assist you." As he spoke, he slipped a business card into Chen Yang's hand, looking like a salesperson afraid of being rejected. Chen Yang smiled and took a sip, accepting his goodwill. The position of secretary to the mayor was indeed quite impressive. On ordinary days, if anything came up, it wouldn't be due to always trouble another person. Wang Huaiji was the best free labor available. Occasionally wielding borrowed power to resolve minor issues should be quite effective. The banquet today was enjoyable for both hosts and guests. In the end, Chen Yang did not stay over at the Li residence. Han Feishue, who had not drunk any alcohol, drove his Wrangler, first dropping Feng Danqing off at home, and then taking Chen Yang back to the hotel. "Yangzi, tomorrow morning, I'll have the secretary bring the car back," Han Feishue said before driving home to sleep. Lying in bed, Chen Yang felt his mind racing with various thoughts. He checked his points and found he only had 80. What could he do with such a small amount? Without some windfall, when would he ever get rich? Looking back, the random lottery seemed quite appealing. Although it was the lowest tier, unreliable lottery, he had already drawn a cleansing pill and the soul skill, both of which were very useful. He wondered what good things could be drawn from the higher tier abnormal lottery. This time, if he could hit the jackpot and accumulate enough points, he would definitely try the abnormal lottery. He wondered if there would be any special surprises. Start the lucky wheel. With a command, a large circular wheel appeared in his mind, divided into 1,000 small sections of various colors. Each small section corresponded to a number. The dark sections, from 91 to 100, represented the winning multipliers, totaling 10 sections, while the remaining 990 sections were light-colored, representing nothing won. The odds were quite steep, with only a 1 chance of winning. Last time, Chen Yang spun 3 times before hitting the jackpot, which was already a stroke of luck, and it almost gave him a heart attack. Today, fueled by the effects of alcohol, I felt the urge to gamble once more. Impulsiveness can be a devil. With a stake of 10 points, I initiated the game. The large wheel began to spin. My eyes were glued to the wheel. As long as the pointer landed in the dark area, it would be a grand prize. Just hitting any segment would lead to wealth. Ding! The wheel stopped. The pointer landed on a 0. No win. 10 points deducted. Current total, 70 points. A poor start. Nothing. My points were swallowed. My heart felt like it was breaking. Wanting to get rich overnight and hitting the jackpot was indeed not that easy. Just thinking about the 10 points lost made my heart ache. It felt like losing 10 pounds of flesh, blood everywhere. Should I continue? With another 10 points at stake, I decided to go again. Who hits the jackpot on the first try? If I want to get rich overnight, I need the courage to take risks. If I give up easily, then the earlier 10 points would have been sacrificed for nothing. I still want to give it a shot. How abnormal can this non-standard lottery really be? Initiate. The big wheel spun again. The pointer zipped across various segments. Hit the jackpot. My heart was racing. My eyes widened in shock. Ding! The wheel stopped, and the pointer froze. Chapter 37. How big is the personal space? Can it be upgraded? I focused and looked closely. Overjoyed. I won. Hit the jackpot. My mouth almost split from smiling. On the wheel, the pointer settled in a dark area. Ding! Congratulations. You have received a 91x reward, adding 910 points. 10 points deducted. Current total, 970 points. Wow. I struck it rich. Without courage, how can one attain wealth? I made the right gamble this time. Sacrificed 20 points, but earned back 910 points. Who wouldn't he want this deal? With my points, I felt bold. Waving my hand for a random draw. Now that I have money, I want to see just how abnormal this non-standard level can be. What kind of ridiculous settings has the system come up with? It feels unsettling, and I have a nagging feeling that the points I just spent might go to waste. Ding! System check complete. You currently have 970 points. You can choose from the following 3 options. Level 1. Unreliable lottery, 10 points deducted each time. Level 2. Non-standard lottery, 50 points deducted each time. Level 3. Big explosion lottery, 100 points deducted each time. Please choose a lottery level, 1, 2, or 3. Wow, I was shocked again. This ridiculous system is really something. From unreliable to non-standard, and now there's a big explosion level. Can I even choose this? What if I draw a bomb and boom, it's game over for me? Such outrageous names. The fees are outrageous. One draw costs 100 points. Who would be willing to do that? 100 points is enough to upgrade a skill to master level or to play the lucky draw 10 times. Is anyone still drawing? Choose option 2, abnormal level lottery. Chen Yang really wants to know. What does abnormal even mean? Is it just slightly off, or is there something wrong? Ding! Lottery completed. Congratulations. You've obtained a personal space, level 1, 1 cubic meter. 50 points deducted, current points remaining, 920 points. Personal space? Yang was both surprised and delighted. He didn't expect to draw such a magical ability this time. Spatial ability? This is something extraordinary. So abnormal refers to this kind of abnormality? For those who read novels, who hasn't fantasized about having a personal space? Whether in a rebirth scenario or in a different world cultivating immortality, how could one survive without space? However, is 1 cubic meter a bit too small? In a daze, Yang sensed that there was an alternate space existing in some unknown place, possibly hidden in a microscopic dimension or in a parallel universe. The personal space is tightly connected to Yang's thoughts, similar to a sealed box. Its dimensions are quite small, only 1 meter in height, width, and depth. With a thought, his phone vanished. Using his mind to probe, he found it lying in the personal space. He tried with other items, and as long as they were within his 1 meter range, with a thought, everything could be stored in the personal space. Moreover, after multiple experiments, Yang concluded some rules. The size of the personal space is limited to 1 cubic meter. Anything exceeding this volume cannot be stored. Inside the space, time stands still, and it is a complete vacuum. Food won't spoil, and temperatures won't change. A cup of hot water placed inside remains just as hot an hour later. And an apple that has been bitten into stays fresh even after being inside for 3 hours. Amazing. Yang was so excited he couldn't sleep. Stuffing all his important belongings into the personal space. Cash, documents, wait. The 12 most valuable paintings couldn't fit. The space is too small. How many points are needed to upgrade the space? Yang summoned the system. Ding. The personal space is a special ability with great potential. But upgrading it is difficult. Detected that the host has 920 points. Can upgrade to level 3 at most. Level 1. Upgrade to level 2. 3 cubic meters. Requires 10 points. Level 2. Upgrade to level 3. 10 cubic meters. Requires 100 points. Would you like to upgrade? If you wish to upgrade, please choose level 2 or level 3. Yang was torn. Upgrading to level 2 only gives 3 cubic meters, which is not much different from a room. It's not too big, but not small either. Upgrading to level 3 provides a space of 10 cubic meters. This space is comparable to a small 3-story house. It's suitable for storing large items, like an excavator or a big truck. It's spacious, but unfortunately, the cost is a bit high, requiring 100 points. After much hesitation, Yang decided to give it up. He doesn't need that much space for now. When he really needs it, he can upgrade using his points at any time. For now, he prefers to keep his points for emergencies. Mainly, a 3 cubic meter space is sufficient for storing calligraphy and paintings or other daily necessities. Upgrading to level 2. Yang issued the command. Ding. 10 points deducted. Personal space upgraded to level 2. 3 cubic meters. Current points left, 910 points. Yang felt delighted. Spending a little for a big gain. This is a win. With just 10 points, he upgraded to a large storage space. Length, width, and height, all reaching 3 meters. If it were for storing money, how much could it hold? Millions? If it were for treasures, how valuable would it be? Billions? If it were for food and water to last a year and a half, that would definitely be no problem. After developing for so long, Yang suddenly wanted to see how his achievements were. He summoned the system again to check his personal information panel. Host name, Yang. Host age, 22 years. Theoretical lifespan, 120 years. System level, level 2. 3 pieces of information triggered yesterday. 1 piece today. Life skills, enchanting hands, level 3 proficiency. Driving, level 3 proficiency. Special skills, personal space, level 2. 3 cubic meters. Combat skills, none. Cultivation secret techniques, none. Combat power level, junior warrior, after taking a cleansing pill. Strength evaluation, lowest level. No combat skills. Seeing this information panel, Yang felt quite complex. Why does it feel like he is a virtual existence, like a game character? All the information is clear and quantifiable. Am I even a real person? What does theoretical lifespan mean? Does it mean that as long as I'm not hit by a car or killed by someone, I can live to 120 years? Since there is quantification, does it mean that as long as I keep working hard, I could possibly become 200 years old, 1,000 years old, or even achieve immortality? Moreover, what do combat skills and cultivation secret techniques mean? I don't have any for now. Does that imply that as long as I keep drawing lots, I might acquire them? Is there a possibility that a higher level of explosive lottery could reveal similar items? Combat level, junior warrior? What does that even mean? The strength evaluation is actually the lowest level? Yang feels that he is currently energetic, quick in response, and strong. Taking down 3 strong men alone would definitely be no problem. How did he end up at the lowest level? Perhaps reality is this harsh. We think we stand at the top, but in reality, we are still at the bottom. Huh, is that even possible? If that's the case, how can I go out and make money in the future? It's one thing to have the means to earn, but what good is it if you can't enjoy it? However, Yang is even more afraid of being poor. He would rather die on the road to making money than hide at home and starve. At this moment, Having strong capabilities becomes especially important. Can a junior warrior protect himself? The intense anxiety keeps Qinyang awake. He dials Black Tiger's number. This guy is the leader of the third group in the Special Operations Department of the Intelligence Agency, holding the rank of Major. He is considered a minor leader. He should know the ranking of strength in this world. What level does a junior warrior actually fall into? Chapter 38. Blowing smoke and drafting. Do you really believe it? Qinyang is very worried about attracting attention, especially with his dog system, which has a knack for stirring up trouble. The daily intelligence always likes to pry into others' privacy and occasionally stirs up some dangerous elements. In the world, who can avoid being harmed? If you want to live long, can you do it without solid strength? The call quickly connects. Qinyang, it's late. Is there any new situation? Has Chang Xiaodian made any moves? Black Tiger's voice is slightly urgent. Qinyang gives a sheepish smile. Is it a bit inappropriate to disturb him at this hour? Tiger brother, I'm still keeping an eye on Chang Xiaodian. There hasn't been any change for now. However, I feel he will make a big move soon. I'll keep a close watch and let you know immediately if I get any news. Black Tiger breathes a sigh of relief. Good. I'm really looking forward to your intelligence gathering skills. Qinyang tentatively asks, Tiger brother, I've recently become quite interested in martial arts. When walking in the world, one needs some self-defense skills, right? But I'm not clear about the ranking of expert strength. What level is a junior warrior? Are they strong? Black Tiger responds nervously. What? Did you offend a junior warrior? Qinyang secretly rejoices. Not at all. I'm just curious. Are junior warriors really that powerful? Black Tiger explains, of course. Just by the name, you can tell that anyone called a warrior is not simple. Even a junior warrior's physical abilities and combat strength far exceed that of ordinary soldiers. On average, a junior warrior can defeat 3 ordinary soldiers. Qinyang feels a sense of pride. I'm a junior warrior. You didn't know I was this strong, did you? What level of strength do you have then? Black Tiger ponders for a moment. Usually, I wouldn't tell others my strength level. After all, maintaining an air of mystery is essential for survival. However, you're not an outsider, so it's fine to tell you. I'm at the advanced warrior level. Under normal circumstances, dealing with 30 soldiers is not a problem. Qinyang is taken aback. Advanced warrior? You're that strong? Black Tiger raises his eyebrows, a bit pleased with himself. Of course, without some real skills. How could I have become a group leader in such an elite special operations unit? To rise in rank, the 2 most important things are achievements and strength. I've fought for 10 years, made countless contributions, and reached advanced warrior strength to gain recognition from my superiors. Qinyang is deeply impressed. From a junior warrior to a mid-level warrior, and then to a senior warrior, I should be considered a master, right? Hey, who let out a sigh? You think too much. Above the warrior level, there are generals and even stronger masters. Each level up significantly enhances one's strength, creating an overwhelming disparity. It's not even on the same level. You ask if a senior warrior counts as a master? Qinyang was shocked. My goodness, there's even stronger ones. A senior warrior is just a minor player. What does that make me? A mere junior warrior. As the conversation continued, Qinyang stopped paying attention. His mind was filled with images of powerful masters, each with exceptional skills, able to kill him like slaughtering a dog. What to do? He was just a low-level novice. If he wanted to survive longer, he could only keep a low profile. Unless he bravely pushed forward and reached the peak of martial arts, dominating the city and making a name for himself. Otherwise, he could only scrape by, laughing at his own misfortune. Come on, young man. Earn points and enter the grand lottery. Fate is in my hands, not in the heavens. Qinyang motivated himself and fell into a daze, eventually falling asleep. Upon waking in the morning, he immediately checked the day's intel. Ding. Today's intel refreshed. Intel 1. Chang Xiaodian will meet with his superior at Blue Bridge Cafe at 3 p.m. today and will deliver important information. Intel 2. Lu Cici's troubles are getting worse, and she's in a very bad mood. Intel 3. Han Feishue was stalked on her way home late at night after work. Qinyang scanned through the intel briefly. Today, there was 1 piece of spy information and 2 pieces about beautiful women. No money-making content. The money-making plan was temporarily shelved. Time to earn points. There's a chance to try for a big lottery. What could the prizes be? Could they enhance combat strength? Qinyang finally understood what it meant to be a frog at the bottom of a well. His past self was indeed one. The world is vast, and there are many masters out there. Now he finally realized his own insignificance. He felt an urgent need to enhance his strength. However, spending 100 points for a single draw made him wince at the thought. Better to handle the intel quickly and earn some points. As for Han Feishue's matter, it could wait. He'd deal with Lu Cici's troubles in the morning. The most pressing issue was still Chang Xiaotian. He was meeting with his superior and delivering crucial intel. Qinyang needed to notify He Hu promptly. While munching on a big bun, Qinyang dialed He Hu's number. Qinyang, another call? Are you scared by the masters? Let me tell you, in real life, it's not that mystical. At your level, you want to encounter those kinds of people. Qinyang felt a wave of frustration. Brother Hu are you looking down on? What level am I that I can't meet those people? Heihu chuckled, easing the awkwardness. I meant temporarily. Xinyang retorted, I've got good news for you. Chang Xiaodian is moving. Heihu's tone changed. What is going on? Hurry up and tell me. Xinyang briefly mentioned to Chang Xiaodian about his meeting with his superior at the Blue Bridge Cafe today. He emphasized the importance of sabotaging the meeting and intercepting the intelligence, making sure to prepare thoroughly and set up an ambush to eliminate the spy network. Heihua was full of confidence and laughed, saying, Don't worry, we're all veterans here. Do we still need your reminders? He then hung up the phone. Ding. Gained 10 points. Total points, 920. Keep up the good work. Xinyang smiled broadly and drove to the treasure pavilion. Upon seeing Ding Xiang, he playfully remarked, Miss Ding, we have business coming in. Ding Xiang looked as beautiful as ever, wearing a thin cheongsam that accentuated her long legs and high slit, making hearts race. She pouted. I hope it's not some big iron rod or something strange again. Xinyang smirked dismissively. Don't judge by old standards, okay? This time, I guarantee it will open your eyes. Let me tell you a secret. I got this without spending a dime. Ding Xiang clearly didn't believe him. Something that's free and you expect me to be amazed? Can you at least draft a rough outline before you brag? Xinyang retorted, if I draft an outline, will you believe me? Ding Xiang was speechless. Xinyang chuckled like a sly businessman. I never brag. If you don't believe me, how about we make a bet? Chapter 39. Is this bodyguard serious? At the treasure pavilion, Ding Xiang was not fooled and instead looked wary. Are you trying to trick me again? Xinyang feigned innocence. What do you mean? When have I ever tricked you? Ding Xiang tilted her head and thought for a moment, realizing that he had tea. But why did she always feel that he frequently tricked her? She stomped her foot. I don't care. You're just a bad person. Xinyang laughed oddly. Oh, I'm a bad person? Little sister, you're mistaken. When I'm bad, I'm not human. Ding Xiang suddenly blushed, as if recalling something. Xinyang's expression changed, shaking his head and saying, Women really are unreasonable. All right, I won't tease you anymore. He raised his hand and took out a scroll. Look, how much is this worth? Ding Xiang took the scroll and laid it on the desk, slowly unrolling it. Her expression changed from indifference to seriousness, then to confusion, and finally to shock. If I'm not mistaken, this is a famous artist's calligraphy, and it's from the Song dynasty. Xinyang crossed his legs. I don't care about that. Just tell me. How much is it worth? Ding Xiang lowered her head again, examining it closely with a magnifying glass. 8 million, what do you think? Xinyang pondered for a moment, and then slapped his thigh. Great. Deal. The transaction was completed on the spot. Ding dong. Xinyang received a bank notification. His total assets skyrocketed to 9.8 million. After the transaction, Xinyang turned to leave, and Ding Xiang followed closely behind, asking, Do you have any other good items? Remember to sell them to us at the treasure pavilion. The price is negotiable. Xinyang waved his hand and said nothing. Ding Xiang watched his back, her expression somewhat dazed. What kind of tricks does this guy have? Snagging opportunities is just like picking up stones. Casually, it's a huge find. Xinyang secretly calculated. There are still 11 pieces of calligraphy and paintings in his space. However, he couldn't take them all out at once. Not only would it raise suspicion, but it would also cause market disruption and price depreciation. It's not worth the loss. It's better to wait for a while and make a move occasionally. Slow and steady wins the race. Sitting in the Wrangler, Xinyang thought for a moment and dialed Lu Cc's number. Honestly, he didn't really want to call her. Last time, after saving Lu Cc, he received intel that she was being harassed by a wealthy second generation. Xinyang had sent her a message, kindly reminding her. In the end, Lu Cc didn't reply at all. A big star, of course, has her airs. Is there any need to pay her attention? For the points, Xinyang had to call again. Hey Xinyang, is that you? Lu Cc's pleasant voice came through the receiver, warming Xinyang's heart slightly. It's rare that the big star remembers his name. It's me, Xinyang. Hello. What is up? Lu Cc's tone was a bit tired. I heard you've been having some trouble recently. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. Xinyang's voice was calm. He had already shown his goodwill. Whether she accepted it was her business. If she thought he was trying to climb the social ladder, then he could just hang up. I really didn't mean it like that. Lu Cc sat in the makeup room, tears suddenly flowing uncontrollably. I'm sorry I didn't reply to your message last time. I've gotten into big trouble recently and didn't want to involve you. So Xinyang's heart softened, and his voice became much gentler. Are you okay now? Where are you? Do you want me to come see you? Lu Cc thought for a moment. Besides Xinyang, she really didn't know who else to turn to for help. I'm on the 22nd floor of Tianfu building. I was supposed to shoot an ad today, but it got cancelled. Wait for me 20 minutes. Xinyang decisively replied. He immediately started the Wrangler and sped towards Tianfu building. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 930 points. Keep it up. This piece of information was successfully utilized. The subsequent business would be free of charge. When Xinyang met Lu Cc, there was only a small assistant left beside her, named Xiaoyu, a cute and charming girl. In the lounge, Lu Cece asked Xiaoyu to wait outside for a while, actually to keep watch. Nowadays, Lu Cece faced overwhelming negative news online. In reality, various paparazzi and reporters were like cats sensing fish, closely watching, leaving no gaps. If confidentiality wasn't maintained, tomorrow's trending topic might just be superstar Lu Cece secretly meets mysterious man, suspected to be supported by a wealthy tycoon. Or big star Lu Cece keeps a younger man, checked into a hotel. Singer Lu Cece's secret lover has been exposed, revealing a scandalous image that shatters conventional views. Such things are infuriating. Are you okay? Seeing Lu Cece's haggard appearance, Qinyang gently asked. Sighing, Lu Cece replied, you saw it last time too. I almost got hit by a car. These days, I've faced all sorts of slanders and defamations without restraint. Although I've used many connections. The other party is wealthy and powerful. As a small artist, how can I compete? Just now, the advertising collaboration we had almost finalized has been ruined. I estimate that soon I won't be able to take any jobs and will be left with nothing. Qinyang clenched his fists and couldn't help but ask. Who is it? What do they want? Lu Cece's expression darkened, lacking any courage to resist. The other party is the top heir from a prestigious family in the Jiangnan province, a super wealthy second-generation rich kid. It's not something we ordinary people can provoke. At a banquet, I didn't accompany him for drinks. Afterwards, he hinted that if I spent a night with him, the conflict could be resolved. Unfortunately, I didn't agree. And now this is the consequence. Qinyang cursed inwardly. Just because I didn't toast him, he wants to take everything from me? If I refuse, he goes all out to make my life miserable. Is this the nature of the wealthy elite? At this moment, Qinyang felt a surge of impulse. He wanted to confront him directly, slap him a couple of times, and ask why he felt so invincible and reckless. Unfortunately, Qinyang was still inexperienced, millions in assets, the strength of a novice warrior, and the identity of an unemployed drifter. What could he use to stand up to him? With just a flick of a finger, the other party could crush him. Is there anything I can help with? Qinyang asked, lacking confidence. Lu Cece pondered for a moment and looked at Qinyang. Recently, there have been many street thugs watching me, and I'm afraid they might harm me. I can't trust anyone else. Can you protect me and be my bodyguard? Qinyang was taken aback. What? A bodyguard? Are you joking? I'm not capable of that. Besides, why does it have to be personal? The next moment, he quickly waved his hands. No, I can't be a bodyguard. Lu Cece sighed and didn't press the issue. Yeah, in my current state, anyone who gets involved with me will be unlucky. I shouldn't drag you into this. Qinyang looked at her lonely and helpless expression and felt a pang of sympathy. Can't you hire a professional bodyguard or some skilled people? Lu Cece's expression dimmed. I've tried, but it's useless. Within a week, they either get bought off or threatened. Now I don't even dare to hire anyone. In less than 3 days, there's a high chance they turn into his people. Qinyang was very surprised. This rich second generation is too powerful, right? Not only is he wealthy, but his methods are also impressive. Who can compete with him? Aren't you afraid I'll get bought off too? Lu Cece didn't answer his question, but stared intently into Qinyang's eyes, unblinking. Will you get bought off? Qinyang shook his head and feigned nonchalance. That's hard to say. Money can sway people's hearts. Who knows? If a couple of million were thrown my way, I might change my mind. However, Lu Cece shook her head, her tone strangely certain. You won't. Qinyang was very surprised and curious. In the face of money, how many people would dare to say no? What makes you so sure? Chapter 40. Want to kill me? Is a strength pill enough? Facing the question, Lu Cece thought for a moment and shook her head. I don't know why, but I just have this inexplicable trust. After a long silence, Qinyang solemnly said, all right. I agree to be your personal bodyguard. Lu Cece was overjoyed. Really? That's great. The term is tentatively set for 1 month, with a salary of 1 million. Starting now. Is that okay? Qinyang thought for a moment. His father's health had improved, and with his mother and a caregiver looking after him, there shouldn't be any major issues. All right. Starting now. But do I really have to provide close protection? Lu Cece blushed a little. It's south best to stay close, given the special circumstances. Qinyang couldn't argue against that. Seemingly afraid he would change his mind, Lu Cece quickly transferred 1 million to him. Ding. Received a transfer of 1 million. Qinyang felt secretly pleased. A big star is indeed generous. Even before starting the job, the money was already in place. His total assets had exceeded 10 million, reaching 8 million. 1 million for a month. That counts as a small fortune. Ding. Today's information triggered. Information 4. Lu Cece is in danger today. While you protect her, you will also encounter life-threatening crises. With your current strength, it will be difficult to escape unscathed. Joy can turn to sorrow. The sudden trigger of today's information left Qinyang both shocked and scared. Indeed, every penny isn't easy to earn. If you want to make money, some want your life. Qinyang frowned. His current strength level was that of a novice warrior. To quickly improve, he could only rely on random draws. As for how to draw, he still needed to figure that out. Cece, wait a moment. I need to use the restroom. Qinyang hid in a corner where no one was around and activated the random draw. He had finally made up his mind. He chose the unreliable level draw. Although unreliable, there was still a chance to draw something good, like a cleansing pill. Qinyang's current strength came from the cleansing pill. He wanted to try his luck to see if he could draw similar pills or treasures that could help enhance his combat power. The key point was that the unreliable level was cheap. It only required 10 points, which wouldn't hurt too much. Starting the draw. Ding. Draw completed. Result, empty. Deducted 10 points. Current remaining points, 920. Damn, it really is unreliable. I just lost 10 points for nothing. I seriously suspect the system set this up with a bad conscience. Qinyang was indignant. Would you like to continue the draw? Without hesitation, he chose to continue. Ding. Draw completed. Result, empty. 10 points deducted. Current remaining points, 910. What? Another empty draw? Qinyang was about to lose it. Is today really this unlucky? Dog system, you better watch out. I'll have my eye on you. Play tricks with me again, and you'll see what happens. Qinyang threatened fiercely. He felt a bit more reassured. Would you like to continue the draw? He gritted his teeth, enunciating each word. Continue. Ding. Draw completed. Congratulations. You have received 1 strength pill. 10 points deducted. Current remaining points, 900. A small yellow pill fell from the air. Qinyang reached out with his right hand and caught the pill. Opening his palm, the pill was only the size of a soybean, rather unremarkable. It looked almost like cold medicine. Such a small pill is called a strength pill? Qinyang was skeptical. He tilted his head back and swallowed it. Having had experience with the cleansing pill, he figured safety shouldn't be a concern. Moments later, a wave of heat surged in his stomach, spreading throughout his body. Qinyang, experienced, hurried to the squat toilet in the restroom, getting into position. There was no choice. His last experience with the cleansing pill was a profound lesson. As a result, he squatted for quite a while, but not a sound escaped. He wiped himself, pushed open the door, and walked out of the stall. Bam! The latch on the stall door hadn't been opened, and it was forcefully pushed aside. Yet Qinyang remained oblivious. Did I use too much force? No. I didn't right? What is going on? Is the quality too poor? Qinyang picked up the stall door, intending to set it aside. The whole door felt as light as a feather, not heavy at all. Wow. Could it be that my strength has really skyrocketed? Qinyang felt excited. He tried again, gripping the restroom counter and lifting it effortlessly. The massive marble counter was raised without any struggle. All the marble adhesive fell off. How much strength would it take to break that? Not to mention, the marble is so heavy. This lift must be at least 1,000 pounds of force, right? Realizing his extraordinary strength, Qinyang dared not recklessly experiment anymore. He then recalled the control panel stating that his strength evaluation showed he had no combat skills. His strength was subpar. He felt a wave of frustration, choosing the massive explosion-level draw. Let us start the draw. I don't believe that with points. I can't draw something good. He threw in 100 points. Draw ding. Draw completed. Congratulations. You have received a combat skill, entry level, combat technique. 100 points deducted, current remaining points, 800. His whole body underwent a subtle change. His thinking, agility, and reactions all improved significantly. Some amazing fighting techniques took root in his mind, forming muscular responses. Truly worth the price, as expected from a massive explosion-level draw. After spending 100 points, he finally obtained a combat skill. Combat technique? Is this thing powerful? Qinyang wasn't too sure. He was somewhat plagued by a fear of lacking strength. He decided to level up his fighting skills to prevent being taken down later, upgrading his combat technique directly to level 4. Ding! Combat skill is starting to upgrade. Consumed 60 points. Combat skill upgraded to level 4, perfect state, master level. Remaining points, 740. A violent change swept through his body. In his mind, various combat awareness, reactions, and techniques were being renewed and upgraded to a new realm. His bones, muscles, skin, and nerve responses all transformed accordingly. In an instant, Qinyang went from a novice in combat to a master fighter. All his fighting skills seemed to have been tempered through rigorous training, becoming refined and achieving an extraordinary level of mastery. Master. Impressive, right? Qinyang felt a surge of emotions and couldn't help but check his personal information panel. Host name, Qinyang. Host age, 22 years. Theoretical lifespan, 120 years. System level, level 2. 3 pieces of information triggered yesterday. 1 piece today. Living skills, soulful hands, level 3 proficient. Driving, level 3 proficient. Special skills, personal space, level 2. 3 cubic meters. Combat skills, combat technique, level 4 master level. Cultivation secret method, none. Combat power level, intermediate soldier king, after taking a power enhancing pill. Strength evaluation, with master level combat skills. Able to challenge higher level soldier kings. Seeing this strength evaluation, Qinyang's mood finally improved slightly. He felt a bit more confident about his safety. I don't believe that against a star, they can still send out any experts. As long as they are not stronger than a high-level soldier king. I can handle it. Suddenly, the door to the men's restroom was banged on. Qinyang, come out. Sister Cece has been taken away. The voice was filled with panic. It was Xiaoyu. Chapter 41. Robbing a beauty to make her a wife, Qinyang rushed out of the restroom like the wind. Where is she? Xiaoyu pointed towards the elevator. They just left, probably in the underground parking lot. Qinyang threw out a quick sentence and dashed into the elevator. You head back. I'll rescue Cece. 2 minutes later, Qinyang arrived at the underground parking lot via the elevator. Not far away, a tattooed man was leading 8 younger brothers. Grabbing Lu Cece and heading towards a white van. Let me go? Let me go? Lu Cece screamed loudly, struggling continuously. The tattooed man, annoyed, waved his hand. Tie her up and gag her. So annoying. A younger brother with green hair quickly complied. Yes, wolf brother. The tattooed man was pleased and patted the green-haired boy on the shoulder. You're not bad. Keep it up. You have a future. The green-haired boy felt a rush of excitement, nodding eagerly. Thank you, wolf brother. He unfastened Lu Cece's hands and bound them together. Then tore a piece of cloth from her shirt, twisted it into a ball, and shoved it towards Lu Cece's mouth. Open your mouth. Lu Cece shook her head in refusal. The green-haired thug forcibly grabbed her chin, preparing to proceed. Suddenly, a handsome young man walked out from not far away. If you don't want to die, stop immediately. The green-haired thug was startled and halted his actions. Lu Cece opened her mouth in surprise, momentarily speechless. The tattooed man, nicknamed Grey Wolf, cast a cold, knife-like gaze at Qinyang. Who are you? What do you want? Qinyang casually strolled up to Grey Wolf with his hands in his pockets and replied slowly, robbery. Grey Wolf couldn't believe his ears. Someone actually came to rob me? Kid, do you know who I am? Do you know who my brother is? Qinyang shook his head. I don't know. Grey Wolf couldn't help but laugh and cry at the same time. You little brat, you don't know anything and dare to rob me? Do you believe I can slap you to death? His gang members burst into laughter. Does this kid have eyes? Ha ha ha, I think he is brainless. What era is this? And he is still trying to rob? We don't even dare, but he's quite bold. Qinyang remained unfazed and pointed at Lu Cece. Let her go. I've taken a liking to this beauty. I want to rob her and take her home as my wife. Lu Cece's face instantly turned red. Grey Wolf laughed so hard he could barely stand. You actually have some ideas. Do you know who she is? You want to take her home as your wife? I can't even imagine it, but you think it's a beautiful idea. Qinyang foolishly asked. She looks pretty. Who is she? Grey Wolf, rarely acting as a teacher, patiently explained. Her name is Lu Cece. Haven't you heard of her? She is a famous music diva, a top star, with millions of fans. Do you still dare to marry her? Qinyang retorted, why not? A woman this beautiful. Bringing her home to have kids in the future will definitely be smart and cute. Grey Wolf nearly short-circuited from his way of thinking. Lu Cece was also thrown off by the conversation, her mind absurdly picturing a clever and cute little child. Ugh, Lu Cece, what are you thinking? She was embarrassed to the point of blushing. Over there, Qinyang started lecturing Grey Wolf again. You look imposing, but you actually lack ambition. You don't even dare to marry a woman. How can you roam the world? How will your gang members look at you in the future? In an instant, Grey Wolf felt like his prestige was being trampled on. Damn, how dare you teach me a lesson? I'll slap you to death. He suddenly charged forward, swinging his large hand like a fan. Lu Cece shut her eyes in fear. If that slap landed, would her face not swell? Would her front teeth survive? Grey Wolf's gang members stood by, cheering. Kill him. Slap him. Get him. Smack. Boom. 2 loud sounds echoed. Grey Wolf's sturdy body flew backward like a rolling gourd, landing 8 or 9 meters away. Uffed. He spat out a mouthful of blood-stained front teeth, splattering all over the ground, a gruesome sight. Ouch. I'm in so much pain. The Grey Wolf is lying on the ground, howling in agony, a pitiful sight. The little brothers are stunned. What's going on? Wasn't the wolf brother beating up the foolish kid? How did it turn around so quickly? And now the wolf brother is thrown out, looking like a pig's head. The green-haired little brother rushes over, concerned. Wolf brother, are you okay? Is this some kind of magic trick? The Grey Wolf slaps the green-haired one. Damn it. I've been beaten. You bunch of fools. Why are you just standing there? Get him. The Grey Wolf is furious. The little brothers are panicking, each looking at the other. They encourage each other and surround Qinyang. Qinyang doesn't want to reveal his fighting skills, so he must rely on brute force and take them out one by one. He strikes first, charging into the encirclement like a tiger among sheep. A slap here. A kick there. Each hit is incredibly powerful. Amazing. The little punks have never seen such a fierce man. After taking a hit, they scream like pigs. I lost a tooth. Oh no. My hand is broken. My leg is broken. In just 3 minutes. All 8 little brothers are lying on the ground like the Grey Wolf, screaming in pain. At this moment, the screams attract many car owners who stand by and watch, curious about what is happening. Who is so formidable, beating these punks so badly? It's truly satisfying. Qinyang leisurely unties Lu Cece's hands. He lifts her chin with his hand and smiles. Beautiful girl, from now on, you are mine. Would you like to be my wife? Lu Cece is both surprised and delighted, with a hint of shyness. She lowers her head and says nothing. The gray wolf sees his prey being taken and is furious. Kid, just wait. I'm calling for help. Don't think you can take her away. The gray wolf pulls out his phone and starts dialing. Brother Xiong, our guys are down. We ran into a tough one with incredible strength. You need to bring more people. Chen Yang's expression darkens, but he doesn't stop him. It's better to call for help. Solve it all at once, and avoid ongoing trouble later. He walks up to the gray wolf, looking friendly. Are you the gray wolf? Who is your big brother? Is he very powerful? The gray wolf looks smug. Now you know to be afraid? My big brother is a well-known figure in Jiangqing, respected by all the brothers in the underworld as Brother Xiong. Qinyang smiles faintly. Oh, Brother Xiong? It seems you brothers are from the same organization. A zoo of sorts? The gray wolf is furious and nearly curses. Remembering Chun Yang's terrifying strength, he holds back. When Brother Xiong arrives, let's see if you still dare to be arrogant. I'll make you kneel and drink urine. In less than 20 minutes, a burly middle-aged bald man drives over in 4 business cars, rushing in like the wind. Bang, 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 bang. After a series of car door sounds, more than 20 little brothers get out, all muscular and fierce-looking, skilled fighters. The crowd watching is scared and retreats, not daring to get too close. Some timid ones have already driven away. This place is not suitable for lingering. Some are bold and still watching. Curiosity kills the cat. These people really have no fear of death. At this moment, a figure known as Grey Wolf managed to get up with great difficulty and hurried over to a big man with a shaved head. Brother Bear, you're here? He pointed at Chunyang, filled with resentment. It's this guy who beat up my brothers, leaving them all battered and broken. The big man waved his hand, brushing Grey Wolf aside. Go wait over there, I'll handle this. He walked up to Chunyang, a cold smile on his face. So it's you who stole my goods and hurt my people? Chunyang remained calm and collected. That's right, it was me. On the surface, he appeared composed, but internally, he was on high alert. With the warning he had received, he knew today's events wouldn't be simple. There was definitely danger, and it was a life-or-death crisis. He just didn't know where the danger lay or when it would strike. That was the most terrifying part. Chapter 42. 1 million, can you let me go? In the underground garage of Tianfu Building, Chunyang and Lu Cece were surrounded by more than 20 thugs. Many onlookers were present, yet none dared to step forward to help. Chunyang had anticipated that today would bring great peril, but he didn't know where the threat would come from or when it would appear. He could only remain cautious and alert. The leader of the thugs, Brother Bear, was a notorious figure in Jiangqing. He was strong and well-connected. This time, he was commissioned to kidnap Lu Cece and deliver her to his employer, which would earn him a hefty reward and goodwill, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Unexpectedly, a figure like Chunyang appeared out of nowhere. Kid, what's your name? Why are you here? Brother Bear asked. Chunyang replied with a grin. I'm your brother Yang, just here to make a little robbery. Haha. Brother Bear's expression darkened. Don't try to be clever. This matter is not something you can meddle in. Be sensible and hand over the girl now, and I can go easy on you. Otherwise, when I make my move, you will regret it, and it will be too late. Brother Bear looked at Chunyang with confidence. He was tall and strong, with natural strength. Having survived in the underworld, he relied solely on his iron fists to carve out a place for himself. He was not someone like Grey Wolf, who could be compared to him. Chunyang glanced at Brother Bear and then at his lackeys, his expression growing more serious. It wasn't that they were too strong, but rather that they were too ordinary. Besides Brother Bear, only a few had any combat capability. The rest posed no significant threat to him. After all, he had taken a strength-enhancing pill and had reached the level of a mid-tier warrior. He had also mastered advanced fighting techniques, bringing him close to high-tier warrior strength. Dealing with 20 or so small-time thugs would be no problem. But where was the danger? Was it hiding among these thugs? If so, he needed to be careful not to be ambushed and caught off guard. Chunyang appeared relaxed, as if he were indifferent to the situation. Brother Bear, you don't need to waste your breath. I'm not handing her over. What do you want to do? Come on, I'm quite busy. Brother Bear was nearly enraged. With a wave of his hand, he shouted, go. The woman was retrieved, and the man interrupted with force. The younger brothers around were eager to try their luck, emboldened by their numbers. Some wanted to make a name for themselves. Chunyang relied on his brute strength, charging into the crowd first, throwing punches and kicks. Just one hit could break bones. In the blink of an eye, he took down 5 of the younger brothers. Brother Xiong's expression changed dramatically. How could this guy be so strong? 1 force can overpower 10 skills. He had no formal training, but possessed incredible strength. With a fierce shout, he joined the fray. If he didn't act, all his younger brothers would be finished. Brother Xiong's combat power was indeed extraordinary, at least on par with a novice combat king, possibly approaching an intermediate level. Like Chunyang, he also had immense power. The two met their match, battling fiercely. The younger brothers were also looking for opportunities to help out, silently moving closer. Amidst the chaos, a short figure slipped into the fight, approaching Chen Yang. A glint of cold light flashed from behind. Chen Yang's heart sank, and his hair stood on end. It was coming. He had been on guard. The more chaotic it became, the more dangerous it was. The assassin had indeed emerged, choosing the perfect moment for a lethal strike. Fortunately, Chen Yang had a backup plan. Master-level fighting skills were fully unleashed. His hand moved like a shadow, catching the assassin's wrist. Crack! With a powerful twist, the assassin's wrist was broken. A scream pierced the air. The assassin's eyes flashed with fury. With the other hand, he wielded a dagger and retaliated. Chen Yang struck down with a knife-hand strike on his forearm. Another scream rang out as the assassin's forearm was also broken. Brother Xiong was taken aback. He hadn't expected that the employer would not only ask him to intervene, but also send an assassin. This was getting serious. Just as he thought about retreating, Chen Yang kicked him in the chest. Boom. He was sent flying 5 meters away. With Brother Xiong temporarily out of the way, Chen Yang seized the opportunity, stomping down on the assassin's thigh, crushing the bone. The threat was completely eliminated. The short but fierce assassin fell, groaning in pain, like a dying dog. Brother Xiong struggled to get up from the ground. Chen Yang leaped forward, ready to deliver another kick. Stop! Brother Xiong shouted, halting Chen Yang's sharp advance. Chen Yang paused, a cold smile on his face. What? Do you have something to say? Brother Xiong wiped the cold sweat from his brow, still shaken. Raising his hands in surrender, he said, Big brother, I give up. I admit defeat. Chen Yang was a bit surprised. He laughed. Brother Xiong, what do you mean by that? I think you still have some fight left in you. Brother Xiong glanced around. A third of his men were down, another third were seriously injured, and the remaining third were like startled birds. With such a lineup, was there really any fight left? He forced a smile. Big brother, don't joke around. We can't continue. We surrender. Everyone surrenders. Despite his words, his eyes kept signaling otherwise. The younger brothers beside him were quite perceptive. Immediately, they all raised their hands in a gesture of surrender. Amusingly, a few of them had broken both hands and, in their haste, sat on the ground and lifted their feet instead. There was no choice. If they didn't raise their hands and got beaten again, who would they turn to for justice? Chen Yang found their reactions quite ridiculous. However, he couldn't easily let these people off, especially since there was an assassin hidden among them. One slip could lead to disaster. Brother Xiong, if you want to fight, then fight. If you want to negotiate, then negotiate. Is there such a good deal in the world? Brother Xiong had a bitter expression. Big brother, please tell us how we can be spared. Chen Yang shook his head. Wrong. It's not that I don't want to let you go. It's because you attempted to rob us and wanted to break my limbs. I was just acting in self-defense. Brother Xiong was on the verge of tears. Big brother, I was wrong. Is that okay? You set the terms, and I will comply. What do you think? Chen Yang's face darkened. Are you really that thick-headed? I said it was you who attacked us. You have the numbers. What demands can I make? Is that reasonable? Brother Xiong felt like he wanted to die. If he had known, he wouldn't have taken this job. Now he couldn't fight back. And the other side wasn't he engaging with him. What could he do? The earlier green-haired one was much smarter, actively helping to relieve the situation for the big boss. Big brother, what Yangge means is that we should propose compensation ourselves, not that he is forcing us. Brother Xiong first shot him a glare. What big brother? There's only one big brother here, and that's Yangge. Then he praised him. Whose subordinate are you? Quite understanding. The green-haired one was flattered. I am Underwolf brother. The Grey Wolf. Brother Xiong praised the green-haired one again, then stepped in front of Chen Yang and bowed deeply. Yangge, I'm sorry. To express my apology, I am willing to offer 1 million as a gesture of goodwill. But Chen Yang shook his head. You are mistaken. This is not an apology. It is for medical expenses. Additionally, Miss Lu Cece was kidnapped by your men and traumatized, so she must receive some mental compensation. Brother Xiong felt a pang in his heart. More compensation? But he had no choice but to turn to Lu Cece and bow deeply. I'm sorry, Miss Lu. You were frightened. I am willing to offer 1 million to compensate for your mental distress. What do you think? Lu Cece was at a loss. She looked at Brother Xiong, then at Chen Yang, unsure whether to agree or refuse. Chen Yang, however, was indifferent, smiling broadly at Brother Xiong. Thank you, Brother Xiong, for your generosity. It was agreed beforehand that you would make this request and express your intentions. Miss Cece and I, being unable to refuse your kindness, reluctantly accepted it. You tell me, am I right? Brother Xiong felt bitter. There was no bitterness like this. Yes, what you said is correct. At that moment, Brother Xiong truly regretted it. Why did he take this job? He hadn't made any money. The person was beaten up and still had to rush to offer 2 million. His subordinates, dozens of them, were all injured. Who will cover the medical expenses? Normally, all of Brother Xiong's losses would definitely be charged to the employer. However, this time, even if he had 10 guts, he wouldn't dare to do that. That individual holds immense power. Who would dare to provoke him? Brother Xiong knows he is not foolish and would never seek his own demise. That person's influence is such that, not just in Jiang City, But throughout the entire Jiangnan region, he is a formidable figure. He wouldn't dare poke the tiger's backside. Alas, he could only swallow his grievances in silence. Of course, Qin Yang and Lu Cixi also knew very well who the employer was, especially Lu Cixi, who was becoming increasingly aware of the terrifying existence she had offended. Therefore, Qin Yang did not make things difficult for Brother Xiong. This guy was just a small fry. As long as he didn't bother Qin Yang again in the future, taking his 2 million was just a minor punishment. As for the assassin, Qin Yang showed no mercy. In self-defense, with just a slight miscalculation, he hit a vital area. The assassin went straight to hell. Get lost. Take the assassin's body with you. If I see you again, or if anything happens to Miss Cixi, that will be your fate. Brother Xiong was terrified at the outcome of the assassin. He was dead. Really dead. Yang Gu, I wouldn't dare. Absolutely wouldn't dare. Please check the money I'm offering you. Qin Yang waved his hand. Brother Xiong tucked his tail and quickly ran away with his men. The 1 million had already arrived. Qin Yang's total assets increased to 11.8 million. Not bad. A fight earned him 1 million. It wasn't a waste of effort. Lu Cixi found it amusing. Qin Yang was truly a peculiar person. Not only did he save her life, but he also helped her secure 1 million. She had just given him 1 million, and he returned it just like that. Wasn't that like getting it for free for a month? Qin Yang looked at Lu Cixi. Cixi, is there anything else? If not, shall I take you back? Lu Cixi shook her head. Today's business was a bust. There was no work left, so it was time to go home. Lu Cixi lived in a high-end villa community. The environment was quite nice, and the security was also good. Qin Yang checked all around, up and down, and did not find any safety hazards for now. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 750 points. Keep it up. Making money is important, and points shouldn't be neglected either. Both must be pursued vigorously, especially this time, encountering a life-and-death crisis. If it weren't for taking a strength-enhancing pill and learning combat skills, his life would really be over. He hadn't even enjoyed life yet. How could he die young? Money, beauty, power, 120 years. I must enjoy at least 100 years, right? Qin Yang, you will sleep in the room next to mine tonight. Lu Cixi said shyly. At this moment, she had changed into a set of casual homeware. It wasn't that stunning, but it was even more charming. Qin Yang was taken aback for a moment. All right then. Suddenly, he remembered something. Cixi, wait a moment. I have to go out for a bit, and we'll be back after I'm done. If you need anything, just call me. Lu Cixi looked a bit worried. How long will you be gone? Qin Yang thought for a moment. About 2 hours. I'll definitely be back by night. Lu Cixi felt a bit reluctant. All right. The sooner you go, the sooner you'll be back. The villa was quite spacious, almost on par with Qin Yang's lakeside villa. Living in a large house was indeed comfortable. There was plenty of space for activities, complete with a gym, a media room, and more. When the time was right, Qin Yang headed out, driving his jeep. He arrived at the company building of Linjiang Feishue. Instead of meeting Han Feishue directly, he planned to conduct a follow-up investigation. As the saying goes, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. He decided to let things unfold for a while. During the off hours, Han Feishue worked a bit longer. At 7:10 p.m., she left the company but didn't head home. Instead of driving, she called a cab and went to a lounge to meet a friend. Her friend was also a stunning beauty, a typical affluent woman. The two chatted and drank together. All the while, Qin Yang kept a distance, searching for any suspicious individuals. However, he found nothing. Could the person be a skilled expert? An hour later, Han Feishue returned home alone. As she exited the lounge, a few passers-by glanced at her a few extra times. Qin Yang remained hidden in the distance, still failing to identify any suspicious person. Then, Han Feishue flagged down a shared bike and, singing along to music and enjoying the breeze, seemed to be in very good spirits. Suddenly, Qin Yang made a new discovery. A man in his 30s, dressed in black, was riding an electric bike, following her at a distance. Could it be him? Qin Yang took a closer look. It was indeed the stalker mentioned in the intelligence report. Wow, he finally showed up. After worrying all night, he turned out to be a cunning fox. At that moment, Han Feishue was almost home. Suddenly sensing something amiss, she noticed a man following her closely. Whenever she turned, he turned too. Could he live in the same neighborhood? Han Feishue's heart raced, and she quickened her pace. Once inside the community, she locked her bike but didn't head straight home. Instead, she circled around the neighborhood. However, the man in black continued to follow her. At this point, Han Feishue was genuinely frightened. It was evident that this person's target was her. Her palms were sweating, and her heart was racing. This was bad. Was he after her money or something else? Should she call the police or seek help? After a brief moment of hesitation, Han Feishue inexplicably dialed Qin Yang's number. The phone kept ringing without an answer. She was becoming increasingly anxious. Please pick up, please pick up. Suddenly, the man in black rushed over, snatched Han Feishue's phone, and hung up. Beautiful lady, who were you calling? He said with a lewd expression. Is it because it's dark and you're longing for a man? What do you think of me? As he spoke, he unbuttoned his shirt, revealing his bare chest. Han Feishue was so frightened that she closed her eyes, her legs giving way as she slumped to the ground. Help! Help! She cried out. But before she could utter another word, the man covered her mouth with one hand while his other hand reached toward her prominent peaks. Unexpectedly, the peaks that seemed so close began to drift farther away. The man in black slowly rose, his feet lifting off the ground. Let me go? Who are you? It turned out that Qin Yang had appeared. With one hand gripping the back of the man's neck, he lifted him into the air effortlessly, as if holding a small mouse. Han Feishue, still shaken, opened her eyes just in time to see the man in black flung through the air, gliding 5 meters before landing headfirst, right into a pile of dog waste. Qin Yang calmly walked over, raised his foot, and pressed it down on the man's head, grinding it a few times. It hurts. It hurts. Spare me. I won't dare do it again. The man pleaded. Qin Yang snorted coldly. You think there will be a next time? With a thud, he stomped on the man's groin, eliciting a piercing scream. From then on, the man would never think of women again. Qin Yang smiled faintly, took out his phone, and dialed the number of Zhang Jinshan, the deputy captain of the city's criminal police team. Captain Zhang, I'm reporting an attempted assault. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 760 points. Keep it up. Saving a beauty and earning points. Qin Yang was a happy worker. After escorting Han Feishue home, as soon as they stepped inside and before the lights were turned on, Han Feishue threw herself into Qin Yang's arms, tears streaming down her face. If it weren't for you today, Qin Yang patted her shoulder reassuringly. Don't be afraid. I'm here for you. Suddenly, Han Feishue asked in confusion, Qin Yang, why are you carrying so many steel plates in your clothes? Qin Yang was puzzled. What steel plates? I don't have any. Han Feishue didn't believe him and unbuttoned his shirt to check. As she felt around, her face flushed with embarrassment. Layer by layer, she discovered it was all well-defined chest and abdominal muscles. You're truly made of iron. So strong. Qin Yang felt a surge of energy, almost overwhelmed. Click. The light turned on, and he noticed Han Feishue's gaze was anything but friendly. It seemed as if she wanted to devour him. Feishue, I have something to do. I should go, he said, trying to make an escape. But Han Feishue pinned him against the wall with a forceful move. Click. The lights went out, plunging the room into darkness. The intense fragrance of a woman filled the air, making Qin Yang's heart race. What are you trying to do? He stammered nervously. Chapter 44. Temptation strikes again. Like dry wood meets fire in the darkness, Qin Yang was pressed against the wall by a soft, delicate figure. What are you trying to do? He was panicking. Frozen in place, his heart pounding wildly. Han Feishue breathed softly, her warm breath brushing against his ear. I never expected you to have such a great physique. Let me take a closer look, okay? Qin Yang felt extremely awkward. This isn't appropriate, is it? Han Feishue giggled mischievously. You're a grown man. Yet you're shy? Afraid I might take advantage of you? Qin Yang was extremely nervous and didn't dare to move. Of course, he was lying. Some components often go out of control. Bang! They both fell onto the bed. Suddenly, the woman's movements came to a halt. Forget it, I give up. A man's body is indeed stronger than a woman's. Qin Yang felt a wave of frustration. What do you mean? Getting so intense. I thought you were going to forcefully take charge. In the end, it was just to wrestle with me? Han Feishue pretended to be asleep, her breathing gradually becoming rhythmic. Qin Yang, feeling helpless, took a deep breath and gently moved the woman's legs aside, tiptoeing to leave the room. In the darkness, Han Feishue opened her eyes. Remembering her absurd actions from just now, her cheeks flushed. She couldn't help but cover her face with her hands. So embarrassing. While she said it was embarrassing, her mind replayed the earlier scene. She felt a bit regretful. Next time, I will definitely stick it out until the end. I won't back down at the last moment. Thinking about it, what should I do if this happens again in the future? Qin Yang was in a dilemma as he returned to Lu Cici's home. He saw Lu Cici still awake, wearing a pink spaghetti-strap nightgown, waiting for him in the living room. He felt a bit uneasy. Right now, he was like a powder keg, ready to explode. He was really afraid he wouldn't be able to control himself and suddenly go wild. Lu Cici looked lazy. Why are you just coming back now? I've been so bored alone. Seeing his tense expression, she asked, what happened? Are you okay? As she spoke, she got up and walked toward Qin Yang. He felt a bit nervous. I'm fine. He was genuinely worried. What if he suddenly turned into a beast? If something really happened, who would take responsibility? Sigh. What is going on today? 1, 2, both are so tempting. This tempting fate? Thinking back carefully, at Han Feishue's place. If she hadn't suddenly stopped, what would he have done? The next morning, as soon as Qin Yang got up, he heard noise downstairs. He went down to take a look and found Lu Cici in the kitchen preparing breakfast. Wow, you, a big star, can cook breakfast? Lu Cici shot him a glance. What? Is a big star not human? Qin Yang chuckled. I didn't say you weren't human. Seeing Lu Cici about to get angry, he hurriedly explained. What I meant is, not everyone can cook. You can cook, which puts you above 90 of people. A little flattery, lightly given, finally defused a potential conflict. Moments later, Lu Cece served a fried egg, some toasted bread, and a cup of hot milk. Eat up. Qin Yang smiled and said, thank you. Lu Cece chuckled lightly. During this time, since you're protecting my safety, I'll take care of your logistics, food, clothing, and living arrangements. If you need anything, just let me know. Qin Yang chatted while eating. Don't be so formal. I'm not that particular. Wow, your milk is really delicious. While playfully bantering, I didn't forget the important matters. Let's check today's intelligence. Ding. Today's intelligence has been refreshed. Intelligence 1. Lu Cece's whereabouts have been leaked today. She will encounter reporters because there is a mole in her team. Intelligence 2. Chang Xiaodian has been captured, but his superior has escaped. Fortunately, the information has not been transmitted. Intelligence 3. Han Feishue has developed feelings for you. Qin Yang felt a wave of disappointment. The recent intelligence hasn't been helpful at all. 2 pieces of information about beautiful women and 1 about a spy, none of which relate to making money. I will handle the first piece of information later. I need to call about the second piece right away. As for the third, Qin Yang felt a bit troubled. Did she mean it yesterday? What should I do? Han Feishue is beautiful, but a bit aloof. It's quite unsatisfying to think about hanging herself so early in a tree. Forget it. I'll send a message to show my concern. I need to earn those points. Feishue, hope you rested well last night. I suggest you don't work overtime too often. If it's too late, it's not safe to go out. If you really have to work late, you should let your secretary accompany you home. If anything happens, call me immediately. At the office of the president of Linjiang Feishue Company, Han Feishue arrived at work, but sat motionless in her chair, feeling down and anxious. Her mind was filled with thoughts of last night. Suddenly, she saw the message and a bright smile blossomed on her face. The rain had cleared. She quickly replied, got it, thank you. I will. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 770 points. Keep it up. The third piece of information was settled. Qin Yang dialed Black Tiger's number again. Brother Tiger, have you caught Chang Xiaodian? Yes. But unfortunately, his superior escaped. Chang Xiaodian is very tight-lipped. After continuous interrogation for several hours, he still won't reveal his superior's hiding place. Black Tiger's voice sounded a bit weary. I warned you long ago to tighten your arrangements. And look, the superior still got away, Qin Yang complained. It's all my fault. I didn't listen to you, and I didn't expect this guy to be so cunning. He slipped away the moment there was any disturbance, even more slippery than an eel. Black Tiger regretted it. Forget it. Someone this sly would be hard to catch even with tighter security. What is your next plan? Qin Yang tried to comfort him. Black Tiger sighed. What else can we do? We have to continue the interrogation. We must find out about his superior, or else he will keep causing trouble and stealing important military secrets. Qin Yang felt a bit worried. This spy is very formidable. If we let him go unchecked, the danger will be great. We must find a way to capture him as soon as possible. Brother Tiger, how about letting me try? I met Chang Xiaodian once. Maybe I can uncover some clues. Black Tiger hesitated. Can you handle it? Qin Yang remained noncommittal. Although I haven't studied interrogation, I have a natural sensitivity to intelligence. Perhaps we can extract some clues from him that will play a crucial role in your operation. The man slapped his thigh excitedly and said, all right, let me arrange it. Come over at noon. This case is quite tricky and has significant implications, with some big shots closely monitoring it. If you can find the mastermind and crack this case, it will definitely be a major achievement. The rewards will be substantial, and there may even be surprises. Qin Yang smiled. Brother, don't tempt me. I'm just going to give it a try. It may not work. He knew very well what his interrogation skills were. It would merely be about finding opportunities to interact more with Chang Xiaodian, thereby increasing the chance of triggering some intelligence. This kind of thing is unpredictable and relies purely on luck. The man was cheering him on. Come on, I'm getting anxious. I'm counting on you to help me out of this predicament. You can't drop the ball now. I believe in you. You can do it. Qin Yang sighed. Brother, that's not fair. Aren't you putting me on the spot? If I had known, I wouldn't have brought this up. I would have let you figure it out yourself. The man persisted. Brother, don't say that. Just consider it a favor owed to you. Get ready and come over quickly. I'm waiting for you. Qin Yang wanted to refuse again, but the man dangled a bait. If you succeed this time, I will definitely help you gain credit. The benefits will exceed your imagination. That sounds a bit familiar. Qin Yang thought to himself. He had eaten quite a bit of that. Brother, I'm not hungry. You can keep that nice treat for yourself and enjoy it slowly. Chapter 45. It's hard to distinguish loyalty from treachery. How did you figure it out? After hanging up the phone, Qin Yang felt a headache coming on. He initially wanted to do a good deed, but unexpectedly, he had landed himself in trouble. What if he couldn't get anything useful out of the interrogation later? Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 780 points. Keep up the good work. Even before starting the job, the points were already credited. Qin Yang felt a bit embarrassed. Earning these points was easy. The last issue was to resolve Lu Cici's crisis. Regarding this matter, Chunyang decided to take the initiative and directly identify the mole, once and for all. Otherwise, even if today's issue was resolved, similar leaks would arise tomorrow or the day after, putting Lu Cici in constant danger. One day, something irreversible would surely happen. He looked at Lu Cici seriously. Cici, who knows your itinerary each time you go out? Lu Cici thought for a moment. If it's a major event, the company's executives are aware of the schedule. If it's a last-minute arrangement, usually only the manager, assistant, driver, makeup artist, etc. would know. Chunyang frowned. That's quite a broad range. Finding the mole won't be easy. What activities do you have planned for today? I plan to go to the company to practice singing in the morning and attend a concert in the afternoon. It won't take long, less than 2 hours. And I should be done. Lu Cici thought that Chunyang simply wanted to ask about today's schedule. However, Chunyang had other considerations. Who knows about your schedule today? He asked. Only Xiaoyu, Lu Cici replied. Chunyang was taken aback. Just her? Yes, Lu Cici confirmed. The afternoon schedule was a last-minute decision by Lu Cici, and she had only informed Xiaoyu. Chunyang looked deeply at Lu Cici. Then call her over. I have a few questions to ask. Lu Cici seemed like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, instantly bristling. Do you suspect she's a mole? Impossible. Xiaoyu has been with me for 3 years. Always obedient and sensible. She completes every task I give her meticulously. Moreover, I've been to her home and met her parents, who are very simple and honest people. She would never betray me. Chunyang shook his head. I like Xiaoyu too. She is diligent, careful, and very considerate. But we cannot judge her based solely on feelings. This kind of matter still requires evidence. Recently, I helped a friend investigate a leak within a company. At first, she also couldn't believe that her subordinate would betray the company's interests. However, in the end, it turned out that someone she had trusted and valued greatly betrayed her. Human hearts are difficult to gauge, especially when money is involved. Anything can happen. Lu Cici lowered her head sadly, her voice weak. Fine, I'll call her over. She made a call to bring Xiaoyu in. As soon as Xiaoyu entered, she smiled at Chunyang and then asked Lu Cici, are we getting ready to head to the company? Lu Cici scrutinized Xiaoyu, feeling perplexed. Xiaoyu, Chunyang has a few questions for you, and you must answer truthfully. Xiaoyu nodded obediently. Cici, you know I never lie. Lu Cici nodded. I hope you stay true to your word. Xiaoyu turned to Chunyang. Brother Yang, go ahead and ask. I promise to answer all your questions. Chunyang sat upright on the sofa, but did not invite Xiaoyu to sit. Instead, he stood while questioning her. Xiaoyu, tell me sincerely. Is Cici good to you? Xiaoyu glanced at Lu Cici and replied earnestly. Cici is as good to me as a real sister. Chunyang nodded slightly. Then tell me, regarding today's schedule, especially the concert in the afternoon, have you told anyone else? Upon hearing this, Xiaoyu's expression changed instantly. Her face turned pale. Sweat began to bead on her forehead. She hesitated for a long time before daring to answer. Lu Cici felt a pang in her heart. Xiaoyu, could it really be you? Xiaoyu wanted to defend herself, but couldn't find the words. Lu Cici was both angry and frustrated, her chest rising and falling sharply. The space was small, but the tension was high. It was so intense that one couldn't help but question the validity of gravity. I trusted you so much. Shared everything with you, and entrusted you with so many tasks, and this is how you treat me? To you? To your family? I treat you all as my own sister, my own family. Why do you treat me this way? Xiaoyu felt utterly ashamed and covered her face, crying bitterly. Tears rolled down her cheeks continuously. Sister Cici, I'm sorry. Lu Cici felt a deep sorrow, as if her heart had died. Xiaoyu, you know my recent situation better than anyone. I'm constrained everywhere, facing dangers at every turn. Under such circumstances, how can I rely on you when you are so unreliable? Starting today, you will no longer be my assistant. Given our years of friendship, you don't have to pay back the money I lent you. You can leave. After saying this, she turned around and no longer looked at Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu cried uncontrollably. Sister Cici, I was wrong. Please don't kick me out. I haven't repaid your kindness yet. Tears streamed down Lu Cici's face, but she steeled her heart and did not turn back. Xiaoyu, with tears in her eyes, looked back repeatedly, wanting to explain but holding back. She took small steps, slowly moving towards the exit of the villa. Suddenly, Chunyang shouted, "Come back." Xiaoyu was stunned and looked at Chunyang, seemingly doubting her ears. Lu Cici also looked at Chunyang in surprise. Why was this traitor calling her back? To continue harming her? Chunyang stood at the door and waved to Xiaoyu in the yard. Yes, I'm calling you back. Xiaoyu was both surprised and suspicious. Running back quickly, her big eyes looked at Chunyang with a pleading hope. Was Brother Yang going to speak up for her? Sister Cici trusted Brother Yang so much that she would probably agree as long as he spoke up, right? Chunyang raised his hand and pointed to the opposite side, asking Xiaoyu to sit on the sofa. Xiaoyu sat down cautiously, barely perching on the edge. Xiaoyu, you said you haven't repaid Sister Cici's kindness, right? Xiaoyu nodded pitifully. Yang asked curiously. Then I don't understand. Since you are grateful to Sister Cece, why did you betray her by leaking today's itinerary to others? Xiaoya showed a pained expression but refused to say a word. Yang noticed she seemed to have something difficult to say, so he took the initiative to guide her. Do you have something you want to say? You have to trust me and your sister Cece. We will definitely understand your difficulties. If we can help, we won't stand by and do nothing. After much thought, Xiaoya finally spoke. Brother Yang, Sister Cece, I did leak the itinerary, but it wasn't to outsiders. It was to the driver, Brother Wang. Lu Cece was taken aback, and Yang was also quite surprised. Oh, how could it be him? What exactly happened? Xiaoya hesitated. This morning at the office, I saw driver Wang casually mention it, so I told him Sister Cece's itinerary for today. Yang was puzzled. Telling driver Wang doesn't seem like a big mistake. Why didn't you clarify earlier? Xiaoya replied. Because I didn't want Brother Wang to get into trouble. Yang asked. Why is that? Xiaoyu sighed and replied. At that time, I told Brother Wang about my schedule without thinking much. I didn't expect that after a little while. I accidentally overheard him on the phone, quietly reporting this matter to someone else. I was very angry and questioned him. Why would you harm Sister Cece? He knelt down and begged me not to report him. He said his son was seriously ill and needed a large sum of money for treatment, and someone promised him 500,000 just for reporting the daily schedule. Hearing this, Lu Cece couldn't help but interject. I know Wang Dong's son is sick. Didn't I lend him 100,000? Xiao Yu explained, 100,000 is not enough. And he didn't dare to ask for more, so he had to. Yang asked in confusion. Since Wang Dong was behind all this from the beginning to the end, why didn't you defend him? Xiao Yu wiped her tears and sobbed. Brother Wang usually takes good care of me. I've seen his son. He is very cute and also very pitiful. If I tell the truth, Brother Wang would lose his high-paying job, and his family would be in even more trouble. So Sister Cece, I'm sorry. Lu Cece felt both heartbroken and disappointed. Unsure of what to do, Yang sighed deeply. Xiao Yu, call Wang Dong over. I have a few questions for him. Soon, Wang Dong walked into the villa. Xiao Yu, with tear-filled eyes, felt a bit ashamed. Brother Wang, Sister Cece knows about your situation. Wang Dong's face immediately darkened. He fell to his knees, weeping. Sister Cece, I'm sorry. I'm not human. I let you down. Seeing this, Yang and Lu Cece realized that what Xiao Yu said must be true. In the end, Lu Cece did not do anything to Wang Dong, just dismissed him. Wang Dong, you certainly can't be my driver anymore. Go find another job. As for the 100,000 I lent you, you don't have to pay it back. Additionally, I'll give you another 100,000. You must ensure your child's illness is treated. Wang Dong was filled with regret. He slapped himself several times, cursing himself for not being human. He left, filled with gratitude. Watching all this, Xiao Yu felt very reluctant. Her eyes misty, with conflicting emotions inside her. She wanted to stay but felt it was impossible. She had to leave but couldn't bear to. Lu Cece glared at her fiercely and said angrily, You little girl, you have some nerve to deceive me. If there's a next time, stay far away. I don't want to see you again. Xiao Yu's eyes lit up, and she smiled through her tears. Sister Cece, you're not kicking me out? You still want to keep me? Lu Cece maintained a serious face, pretending to be stern. This is the last time. Xiao Yu joyfully jumped up and hugged Lu Cece, kissing her on the cheek. Sister Cece, you're so good. Lu Cece's face turned red, and she pushed her away. You silly girl, are you crazy? Xiao Yu, unfazed, rushed to Yang and threw her arms around him, but he dodged and exclaimed, What are you trying to do? Xiao Yu laughed mischievously. I'm really grateful to you. If it weren't for you, I would have definitely lost Cece. Lu Cece complained. You little brat, if you want to take advantage of someone, just say it directly. Don't drag me into this. Yang was at a loss for words. But Xiaoya didn't mind. Yang is so handsome and has a great figure. It's normal for me to like him, right? Cece, don't you like Yang? Lu Cece was caught off guard and blushed, unsure how to respond. Xiaoya then hugged Yang's arm tightly. From today on, Yang is my best big brother. Lu Cece glanced at the two, feeling a pang of jealousy. You little rascal. Are you sure he is your big brother and not something else? Xiaoya smiled mischievously. Yang, what do you think? Yang was speechless. With these two beauties, one is elegant and the other is cute. How did they suddenly become so unfamiliar? Ding. You have earned 10 points. Current total, 790 points. Keep it up. More points came in. Yang felt pretty good about it. Every day was harvest season. After working hard for so long, he suddenly felt a bit eager. How about trying a draw? Which level should he choose? The unreliable level. It was indeed not very reliable, often ending up empty. But the cost was low, only 10 points. He had also drawn some good items before, like cleansing pills, soul extracting hands, god-level driving, and strength pills. There were both small pills and various skills. The main draw was unpredictability, the abnormal level. It had slightly better stability. He had only drawn it once and got a special skill, personal space. This was a rare and powerful skill with great investment value. The downside, high cost, requiring 50 points. The explosive level, reliable. He had drawn it once and obtained a combat skill, fighting technique. It was practical but had a higher cost, needing 100 points. Xinyang thought for a moment and made a quick decision. He activated the random draw, choosing the abnormal level, with personal space as a precedent. He was full of expectations. Ding! Draw completed. Congratulations. You have obtained Golden Eye, level 1, scanning range of 1 meter. Deducted 50 points. Current remaining points, 740 points. Golden Eye? Xinyang was shocked. Is this for real? This is incredibly powerful. Anyone who reads novels knows about Golden Eye. Proficient in identifying antiques, gemstone betting, and mining. Unfortunately, he didn't know much about gemstone betting and had no connections. Otherwise, he would go straight to a certain country and participate in the Jade public auction. With Golden Eye, betting on stones would be truly exhilarating. One moment in heaven, the next in hell. It's impossible to get rich without strength, but the scanning range of only 1 meter seems a bit small. Let's check the upgrade conditions for Golden Eye. Ding! Golden Eye belongs to a special skill, and the upgrade conditions are quite stringent. Level 1 to Level 2. Scanning range 3 meters, consumes 100 points. Level 2 to Level 3. Scanning range 10 meters, consumes 1,000 points. Level 3 to Level 4. Scanning range 30 meters, consumes 10,000 points. Level 4 to Level 5. Scanning range 100 meters, consumes 100,000 points. What the hell? Stop this right now. The more I hear, the more ridiculous it gets. Xinyang was nearly spitting blood in anger. This system is a total scam. The requirements for upgrading this Golden Eye are even more terrifying than the personal space. It's more than a tenfold increase. To upgrade to Level 5, I'd go bankrupt. It's like a bottomless pit. Beep. Detected host, currently has 740 points, can upgrade Golden Eye to Level 2, requires 100 points. Do you want to upgrade? Damn, this system is a scam. Why would I upgrade? 100 points just to increase from 1 meter to 3 meters. Do you take me for a fool? Xinyang wasted no time in exposing the system's scheme. No way I'm falling for this. After dismissing the driver Xiao Wang, Xinyang took on the role himself. Reluctantly, he became the driver for 2 beautiful women. Lu, the star, this is employee abuse. I'm a personal bodyguard, responsible only for security, not a driver. Xiao Yu chuckled softly. Lu Cece crossed her arms, acting all bossy. Xiao Chen, let us go? Head to the company. Xinyang started the engine. Your Majesty, I demand extra pay. Lu Cece said with a tone. Xiao Yu, tip him 100. Xinyang's hand shook, nearly driving into a ditch. Oh my, is a master like me only worth 100? In the morning at the company, Lu Cece practiced a new song for 2 hours. During a break to drink water, she suddenly mentioned something to Xinyang. Get ready, 3 days from now. We're going on a trip for an important event. Xinyang was startled. What event? We're going out of town? Lu Cece tilted her head back to drink water, a few drops splashing onto her thin white shirt. We're going to Kaiyun City to attend the Stone Gambling Conference. Chapter 47. Mysterious Base, Interrogating the Spy. Are you up for it? A stone gambling conference? Xinyang was astonished. What a coincidence. I just won a special skill, Golden Eye. And now there's a stone gambling conference coming up. This plot twist is well designed. Lu Cece explained. I'm a special guest of the organizer and need to perform at the opening ceremony. I've heard that this stone gambling conference is grand and attracts a lot of attention from big names. Xinyang frowned. In Kaiyun City? My father's illness hasn't recovered yet. If something happens while I'm far away, what will I do? Lu Cece said nervously. Is there a problem? You know my current situation is very difficult. It's not just about the appearance fee, it's a rare opportunity. The most important thing is to enhance influence and maintain visibility. Especially in such a grand setting, it's a rare opportunity. Once missed over time, I might really be in trouble. Not to mention top-tier singers. Even second-tier and third-tier ones could be at risk. Xinyang thought for a moment and nodded. I'm just worried about my father's illness. However, I've asked a friend to help look after him, so it shouldn't be a big problem. Lu Cece felt both grateful and guilty. I'm sorry, but how about you don't go this time? I'll have Xiaoya accompany me instead. Xinyang shook his head. That won't do. During this period, the hidden dangers could strike at any moment. I'm sure that within a week, that guy will definitely take action. Last time, he suffered a small loss. Someone like him wouldn't just let it go. The next wave of attacks will be even more intense and terrifying. Lu Cece felt uneasy. She couldn't even imagine the consequences if she fell into the opponent's hands. The more embarrassed the opponent is, the more severe the retaliation will be. Thank you, Xinyang. Without you, I really don't know if I could get through this. Xinyang smiled. No need to be polite. We're good friends. Just remember to add some money. Lu Cece rolled her eyes. It's almost noon. Xinyang took leave from Lu Cece. You take a nap at the company during lunch, and I'll finish my business and come back to take you to the concert. Lu Cece nodded in agreement. Following the navigation of the Black Tiger, Xinyang drove to an old industrial area. After several turns, he arrived at a rundown factory district. Jiangxing Rubber Factory? Qinyang was full of curiosity. This was one of the secret bases of the Special Operations Division of the Military Intelligence Agency. I can't believe it's such a place. The factory gate looked no different from an ordinary factory. The guard was an elderly man. However, after making 3 turns inside the factory area, they entered a narrow alley. There was another security checkpoint inside. Sorry. A young security guard with a serious expression stepped forward to stop them. His gaze was very sharp. This is a key research area of the factory. Unauthorized personnel are not allowed to enter. Qinyang was about to make a call when a sturdy middle-aged man walked out from inside. It was Black Tiger. Xiao Zhao. This is our person, Qinyang. I've already arranged a pass for him. Please register his information. The young security guard stood at attention and saluted. Yes. After registering Qinyang's information, Black Tiger sat in the passenger seat and took Qinyang into the factory area. The buildings inside were still factory structures, but the security level was clearly different. Loose on the outside, tight on the inside. Not even a mouse could slip in. They walked into one of the factory buildings, where the layout was complex. There were training grounds, offices, lounges, warehouses, and equipment rooms, etc. They entered a central room filled with iron cages. All the passage doors were made of alloy, equipped with smart locks. They required triple verification through fingerprints, iris scans, and passwords to open. The security level was extremely high. Chang Xiaotian was locked up in there. The Black Tiger led the way, with Qinyang following closely behind. Qinyang, can you handle interrogating a spy? The Black Tiger seemed to be testing him. Qinyang smiled mysteriously. Let's see after the interrogation. They entered the interrogation room. According to regulations, important suspects could not be interrogated alone. In addition to the Black Tiger and Qinyang, there was a young female team member present, named Wang Xiaoya. With fair skin, long legs, and a slim waist, she was quite attractive. Dressed in uniform, her expression was serious as she was responsible for taking notes. She didn't quite understand the team leader's decision. This Qinyang looked like just a kid, younger than her. What experience could he have? What methods? How could he handle such a tough nut like Chang Xiaotian? Was it just because he was good-looking? The Black Tiger instructed, bring in Chang Xiaotian. Outside, a team member immediately brought Chang Xiaotian from his cell and secured him in the interrogation chair. As a professionally trained spy, Chang Xiaotian was undoubtedly a dangerous individual. Necessary safety measures had to be in place at all times. As the lead interrogator, Qinyang began the questioning. Mr. Chang, we meet again. Chang Xiaotian, who had been keeping his head down, suddenly looked up in surprise upon hearing the voice. It's you? I was exposed because of you. Qinyang nodded. That's right. By chance, I received a detective task to investigate your privacy. I didn't expect to catch a big fish. Clang. Clang. Chang Xiaotian struggled to get up, furious. Is that the BTCH phone Danqing who sent you to investigate me? I'll kill you. Qinyang frowned, slammed the table, and shouted, enough. Sit down and behave. Once you're in here, do you think you can get out? In the next moment, Qinyang changed his demeanor, smiling warmly. If you can make a contribution while bearing your guilt, getting out isn't impossible. Chang Xiaotian sneered disdainfully. Ridiculous. This trick won't work on me. Save your breath. Qinyang remained unfazed, still smiling. Chang Xiaotian, I advise you to confess honestly. Who is your superior? Where do they live? If you can provide clues, I can help you apply for better treatment. Your accommodation and meals can improve, and you might even get to watch TV, read newspapers, and enjoy some fresh air every day. Chang Xiaotian was completely unmoved. Don't dream. Even if you beat me to death, I won't tell you anything. The Black Tiger's face darkened, feeling the pressure. This Chang Xiaotian was like a tough piece of meat. They had tried various methods, including severe torture and threats, but nothing could pry open his lips. Initially, there had been a glimmer of hope that Qinyang could yield some results, but now it seemed futile. Sigh. This case was closely monitored by the higher-ups. If they couldn't quickly capture that superior, how would they report back? As a newly appointed team leader, Qinyang lacked experience and needed some tangible achievements to solidify his position and repay the trust and promotion from his superiors. Faced with Chang Xiaotian's stubbornness, Qinyang did not give up. Instead, he walked up to him. A hand patted him on the shoulder. In a gentle tone, he said, Mr. Chang, those who know how to adapt to circumstances are true talents. You are also from the Dragon Country. Is it worth it to be loyal to that nation? Chang Xiaotian had a look of disdain, even feeling quite proud. I have long joined that nation and obtained my citizenship card. I am a noble citizen, not a foolish person from the Dragon Country. He pointed his finger at Heihu, Wang Xiaoya, and Qinyang one by one. You are all a bunch of fools, unable to find anything. Ha. Chapter 48, I didn't say anything. How do you know? Damn. Heihu and Wang Xiaoya were so furious that they almost lost control, wishing they could take him down on the spot. However, they managed to stay rational and controlled their impulses. Qinyang, on the other hand, wouldn't let him off easy. Slap, 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 slap. 5 consecutive slaps left him with a bloody mouth, and his face swelled up like a pig. It would probably take a keen-eyed monkey to see his true colors. Still a pig at heart. Qinyang, still unsatisfied, spat out curses. Damn it. Is your father from the dragon country? Is your mother from the dragon country? Where the hell did you come from? I'll teach you a lesson on behalf of your father. I'll beat you for being a sycophant, a traitor, ungrateful, forgetting your roots, and a worthless piece of trash. Chang Xiaotian had blood all over his face, but still refused to back down, laughing wildly. Even if you kill me, you won't get any confessions, you bunch of stupid pigs. Ha ha. Heihu was so angry that his face turned darker. Wang Xiaoya's eyes were blazing with fire, and her breathing quickened as she suddenly stood up, trembling violently. Ding! Today's information triggered. Information 4. Chang Xiaotian's superior lives in a building directly opposite his home. On the same floor and in the same room. They can see each other through the windows and exchange information. Qinyang's spirit lifted. Fake foreigner. Let's see how arrogant you can be. Wait a moment. I'll sneak into your backyard. He discreetly calmed Heihu and Wang Xiaoya down and gave Chang Xiaotian a cold smile. You don't really think that if you don't speak, we won't be able to find out, do you? Asking you to confess is just giving you a chance to turn over a new leaf. Since you don't want it, why should we go through the motions? After saying that, he turned to Heihu. Brother Tiger, don't worry. I've thought of a place that should yield some results. Heihu was both surprised and doubtful. Really? Where? Before Qinyang could speak, Chang Xiaotian had already denied it. Impossible. This information is known only to me, and I have never leaked a single word. Qinyang, don't think you can trick me. How could you possibly know the location? Heihu was already skeptical, and hearing this only made him more so. During the interrogation earlier, Chang Xiaotian had been cunning and had not fallen for any of Qinyang's tricks, revealing no useful information at all. How could Qinyang know anything? Meanwhile, Wang Xiaoya looked puzzled. What is going on? Qinyang suddenly said he knew the intelligence. I was on site, how could I not know? Is he trying to bluff Chang Xiaotian? But we've already used this trick before, and it didn't work at all. Sigh. Still too young, thinking too naively. On site. Only Qinyang remained calm and composed, exuding the demeanor of a general who strategizes from afar. He glanced disdainfully at Chang Xiaotian. It's fine if you don't believe me. Just wait a moment, and we'll see the results. As for your claim that I want to deceive you, may I ask, what do I want to deceive you about? To reveal the hiding location? Would you even tell me? Chang Xiaotian held his head high. Who knows what tricks you're trying to pull? Qinyang coldly smiled and ignored him. He whispered a few words to Black Tiger. Black Tiger was half convinced. Is there really hope? Qinyang nodded confidently. Brother Tiger, you must believe in my intuition about intelligence. Just take your team for a trip, and the results will speak for themselves. Black Tiger began to feel excited, bolting out. Wang Xiaoya followed. Captain, I want to go too, but she was stopped by Black Tiger. You, a girl, stay home and keep an eye on the prisoners. That's more important. Wang Xiaoya was a bit reluctant, but dared not defy her superior's order. Just as Black Tiger's figure was about to disappear, Qinyang suddenly remembered something and chased after him. Brother Tiger, this time, make sure to be fully prepared. We can't afford to mess up again. Black Tiger replied seriously. Brother, don't worry. Last time, I didn't listen to you and made a big mistake. This time, I definitely won't be careless. I'll immediately gather the elite team, completely seal off the area, and ensure he can't escape. Qinyang felt relieved. All right, I'll wait here for your good news. Black Tiger left. The interrogation room fell silent for a moment. Wang Xiaoya quietly probed him. Did you really uncover something? Are you confident in catching the higher-ups? Qinyang didn't actually feel fully confident. After all, the intelligence only indicated where the higher-ups were staying. What if, after the incident with Chang Xiaotian, the other party sensed something was wrong and fled? Honestly, he didn't have that much confidence, but it was worth a try. Wang Xiaoya felt a bit disappointed. See, we didn't think of it. Why would he? It's probably nonsense. A common flaw of young people, they love to show off. However, this way, it raised the captain's hopes. If he went over and found nothing, he would surely be even more disappointed. Chang Xiaotian sat in the interrogation chair. At first, he was relatively calm. However, as time passed, half an hour, Black Tiger still hadn't returned. He slowly became restless. His expression grew tense and anxious. Qinyang, are you trying to fool me? How could you possibly guess where it is? Qinyang ignored him. Chang Xiaotian became even more anxious. The so-called more dangerous places are actually safer. When they set up the safe house, they considered this point. So, a person with a sufficiently meticulous mind can deduce some clues. At the very least, this is a direction for investigation. The key is that he knows the main figure will not easily evacuate or change locations, as it is an important hub for them in this region, housing many high-tech devices. They may have begun the evacuation, but it is impossible to clear everything out in such a short time. It's a matter of efficiency. Whoever reacts faster will gain the upper hand. Sure enough, about an hour and a half later, Black Tiger returned with his team, elated. Upon seeing Qinyang, he immediately gave him a big bear hug. Brother, you're amazing. Just as we finished our arrangements, the other side was about to evacuate, and we caught them red-handed. I estimate that if we had been even 10 minutes late, we might have missed them entirely. Damn, these spies are too clever. After glancing at Qinyang, he laughed again. But facing you, little brother, they're still a bit inexperienced. Qinyang pushed him away. Tiger, are you complimenting me or mocking me? Black Tiger smiled sheepishly. Complimenting you, absolutely. You truly are exceptional at solving cases, worthy of being a detective. I'll give you a code name, the Great Detective. What do you think? Qinyang felt a bit embarrassed. Tiger, this time it was purely coincidence. It's not that impressive. Their conversation left Chang Xiaotian and Wang Xiaoya utterly confused. Did you really catch them? Clang, clang. Chang Xiaotian angrily struggled. Impossible. You're lying. I didn't reveal a single piece of information. How could you possibly guess? Chapter 49. The Beauty Suspects. Do you have any secrets? In the interrogation room, Qinyang coldly stared at Chang Xiaotian with a mocking expression. Chang Xiaotian, you've always thought of yourself as exceptionally smart, treating others as fools. You deceived Feng Danqing in her feelings and wanted to cheat her out of her shares. You thought by siding with foreign interests, no one would know. But have you ever considered how you exposed yourself? How did you end up in this predicament? Chang Xiaotian appeared dazed, murmuring to himself, Why? Why? Qinyang paused, then scolded him. Do you think that by staying silent, we wouldn't get any intelligence or catch anyone? Laughing at us as if we are a bunch of fools. How ridiculous. You are the real fool. As a citizen of this country, you betray your homeland and ancestors, and you are not worthy to be called human. When you went to that foreign land, it became a place far from home. You think it's your country, but they don't see it that way. They will only regard you as an outsider, a refugee. Even a dog on their side might be more noble than you. Chang Xiaotian shouted, No, I'm not. He fell into deep self-doubt, but Qinyang grew increasingly furious. You are lowly and yet unaware. You refuse to be the master and insist on being someone else's dog. How pathetic. Fine. If you want to be a dog, then I'll let you. Qinyang tossed his hand and walked out of the interrogation room, leaving Chang Xiaotian inside, screaming in madness. No, I'm not a dog. Heihua instructed his team members to immediately begin the interrogation of the target. This was a big catch, sure to yield significant rewards. Additionally, they needed to intensify the interrogation of Chang Xiaotian, taking advantage of his mental breakdown and weakened defenses to secure a decisive victory. Heihua was busy making arrangements, but inwardly sighed, wondering how Qinyang had such a natural talent for special operations. With just a few words, he had sent a seasoned spy into a daze, causing a mental collapse. Meanwhile, Wang Xiaoya strangely followed closely behind Qinyang, appearing distracted. Was she stunned by the events? Qinyang suddenly turned around and asked, What are you following me for? Wang Xiaoya flustered. Her face flushed, stammered for a long time without finding the right words. In the end, it was Heihua who came to her rescue. Little brother, don't make it hard for Xiaoya. Whether it's her or me, we are both amazed by your incredible abilities. Even now, I can't figure out how you guessed where the target was hiding. Qinyang smiled faintly and humbly replied. It's not that mystical. It's just that things are often hidden in plain sight. Heihua and Wang Xiaoya nodded thoughtfully. Ding. Gained 10 points. Current total, 750 points. Keep up the good work. It felt great. Every time Qinyang heard the sound of points increasing, he experienced a sense of satisfaction from the rewards. There was no denying it. He was in need of funds. Did people think that with points he didn't want to spend? To win a big prize or spin a wheel for fun? Wrong. He was truly afraid of being broke. 750 points might seem like a lot, but it was far from sufficient. When he calculated, there were far too many places to spend points. System upgrades, space upgrades, skill upgrades, each one devoured resources. Occasionally wanting to draw a prize or play a game, didn't each require points? Thus, Qinyang always felt a sense of urgency. He wanted to earn more points and save more points to upgrade the system as soon as possible. Obtaining more intelligence daily and accumulating more points to create a positive cycle. Thinking of Lu Cece still waiting for him, Qinyang decided to take his leave. Heihua personally saw him to the entrance of the base. Little brother, this time you've really done a great job. Don't worry, though I need the credit. I will never take advantage of you. After all, I'm also the leader of Team 3. I can share a bit of your credit. Thank you for helping me save face. At least I didn't let the leadership down. This time, I will definitely recommend you for merit. Wait for my good news. Qinyang smiled in gratitude and then drove away. To be honest, he didn't think too much about the accolades from the military intelligence agency. He was self-aware. What kind of treatment could an external member expect? At most, he might receive a bonus, and perhaps it would be a little larger. Hey, having money was good. Who wouldn't want more? He hurried to pick up Lu Cece and Xiaoya to attend the concert. It wasn't over yet. A group of reporters had indeed gathered at the entrance. There were all kinds of tabloids, small websites, and internet celebrities, all there to spread rumors and gain traffic. Qinyang had already scouted the area and arranged an escape route. As soon as the concert ended, He quickly shielded the two women and quietly exited through the back door. In the car, Qin Yang turned to Lu Sisi. Sisi, you don't have any other plans, do you? Lu Sisi thought for a moment and then looked at Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu flipped through her schedule and confirmed there were no other arrangements. Lu Sisi curiously asked, why? Do you have plans? Qin Yang smiled. That's right. I'd like to invite you to check out my new house. It's currently being renovated. Lu Sisi was taken aback. You want to invite me to see your new house? Xiaoyu chuckled. Sisi, Yangge has something more to say. Lu Sisi's face turned red as she pinched Xiaoyu. You little brat, what are you talking about? Qin Yang then realized his words could easily be misinterpreted. Actually, here's the thing, he organized his thoughts. I've had a rough couple of years and didn't buy a house until recently. A while ago, I stumbled upon a great opportunity and made some money. I bought a villa by the Daming Lake and asked a friend to speed up the renovations so I could move in. The two women understood now. Xiaoyu looked at Qin Yang with admiration. Yangge, you're amazing. You made money so quickly and bought a house in Jiangqing. My salary is decent, but I can't save any money. I probably can't even afford a bathroom. Lu Sisi explained. Qin Yang, don't listen to Xiaoyu. She sends most of her salary back home to support her family. So how can she save money? Qin Yang looked at Xiaoyu approvingly. Xiaoyu, you're so sensible. You'll definitely be a great wife and mother, managing the household well. Xiaoyu blushed and lowered her head. Lu Sisi looked at Qin Yang in curiosity. I didn't expect you to be an invisible wealthy person. A villa by Daming Lake isn't cheap. I wanted to buy one too, but there were no sellers willing to part with theirs. How did you manage to get one? Qin Yang drove quickly toward Daming Lake. Funny enough, a big boss wanted to emigrate overseas and was in a hurry to sell the house, so I got lucky. Lu Sisi was skeptical and leaned closer, her breath brushing against his ear as she stared into his eyes. You keep getting lucky with finding opportunities to make money and buy houses. Do you have some secret? Chapter 50. Are you thinking of the house or something more? What secret could there be? Qin Yang chatted casually while driving, appearing relaxed. Being friendly with others naturally brings help from benefactors. At home, you rely on your parents. Outside, you rely on friends. My smooth journey is all thanks to the strong support of my friends. I'm very grateful to have such a group of friends who have been silently supporting me. Lu Sisi nodded in agreement. As a singer, she deeply understood this. Whether it's singing, acting, or writing novels, the support of loyal fans is essential. They are the ones who provide for us. Thank you to all the handsome guys, beautiful ladies, bosses, and executives. You are the most charming, the most beautiful, and the most impressive. She casually asked, you entrusted your house to a friend for renovation. Your relationship must be quite solid, right? Is he a contractor? Qin Yang was both amused and perplexed. Feng Danqing, such a beautiful woman, described as a contractor? Not a contractor. She is the head of a decoration design company. Lu Sisi was very surprised. You let a company president help you renovate your house. That is quite impressive. Qin Yang humbly replied. It's all because of my friends giving me face. We have a good relationship. Lu Sisi looked at him as if she were seeing him in a new light. I suddenly have a new appreciation for you. I'm currently facing difficulties. Collaborations are getting fewer, and I'm almost running out of resources. You have such a wide network. Can you help me think of some ways to get sponsorships or introduce me to some advertising endorsements? Qin Yang was taken aback and quickly shook his head. Are you kidding? You, a top-tier superstar and entertainment queen, want me, a jobless wanderer, to help you? Is that appropriate? Beautiful boss. Are you intentionally making it difficult for me? You're a prominent superstar. Do you really need me to bring you business? Let us not forget. I'm still your bodyguard. Li Sisi chuckled lightly. What she said earlier was just a casual remark, not something she genuinely cared about. Xiaoya interjected, Yangge. In my heart, even if you're just a bodyguard, you're still the most impressive bodyguard. She waved her little fist enthusiastically, looking quite spirited. That's the spirit. Qin Yang couldn't help but laugh. Xiaoya, just for that statement, I'll keep working hard. While joking, the car drove to the edge of Daming Lake. The air began to feel humid, with vast expanses of grassland and greenery all around. Xiaoya cheered. The scenery is so beautiful. Living here must be very comfortable. Lu Sisi also felt enlightened. If I have the chance, I'd still like to buy a house here. Imagine opening the window in the morning and seeing the grasslands and the lake. It must feel amazing. In the blink of an eye, the car drove around a small hill and onto a stretch of brand new asphalt road. About 200 meters ahead, there stood a 3-story villa, with many workers busy with construction and repairs, creating a bustling scene. Wow, Yangge, this can't be your home, right? Xiaoya exclaimed in shock. Her mouth agape, as if an egg could fit inside. She knew it was a villa, but seeing it with her own eyes was still incredibly astonishing, beyond imagination. In front of and behind the house were vast grasslands, occupying a large area, nestled against the mountains and facing the lake. The scenery was beautiful and the feng shui excellent. The transportation was convenient too, with a wide asphalt road in front and a small dock on the lake. It would definitely be no problem to dock yachts there. This scene left Xiaoya in awe. Yang, do you have a partner? Qin Yang was taken aback. What is up? Xiao Yu stuck out her tongue, her beautiful eyes blinking playfully. Hey, what do you think of me? Are you going to take me on? Qin Yang was left speechless. Lu Cece couldn't stand it any longer. You clever girl. Want to cozy up to a rich guy and just lie down? Dream on. As my assistant, unless you work for at least 10 years, you won't be going anywhere. Xiao Yu giggled. Cece, if you don't take action, can I at least grab a chance? Living in a big villa and being a wealthy wife is definitely more comfortable than being a small assistant, right? Lu Cece couldn't help but shake her head. She glanced at Qin Yang. That's it. She's also under your spell. Grab a chance. At this moment, ripples of thought stirred in her heart. When she first invited Qin Yang to be her personal bodyguard, she thought that offering 1 million for a month was quite generous. Now it seemed a bit lacking. Fortunately, Qin Yang didn't mind. He probably just wanted to help her. After all, which millionaire would run off to be a bodyguard for someone? Qin Yang walked into the villa with 2 beautiful women. A graceful female CEO was instructing workers on the finer details of repairs. Manager Feng, thank you for your hard work. Qin Yang greeted with a smile. Feng Danqing turned around, and upon seeing Qin Yang, her face lit up with a radiant smile. What would happen if you, the big boss, don't show up? I have to keep an eye on things. Qin Yang looked at her sincerely. Danqing, thanks. Feng Danqing's smile became even more dazzling. No need for thanks between us. You've helped me so much. This is just a return of favor. Lu Cece was completely shocked by this scene. She initially thought Qin Yang's friend was a rough, burly man, a construction foreman. She never expected it to be such a stunning beauty. With the aura of a CEO and the elegance of a beauty, she was simply mesmerizing. Qin Yang stepped aside to introduce them. Danqing, this is Lu Cece and Xiao Yu. I happen to have some free time today, so I brought them over to hang out and check the progress of the project. Feng Danqing's eyes brightened as she fixed her gaze on Lu Cece. Are you the famous star Lu Cece? Lu Cece smiled and nodded, stepping forward to shake hands. Hello, Manager Feng. It's a pleasure to meet you. Feng Danqing instinctively reached out to shake her hand. Wow, it's really you, the superstar. She looked at Qin Yang excitedly. When did you meet a big star? Qin Yang smiled and replied, not long ago, and I thought it was time for you to meet. Feng Danqing politely greeted Xiao Yu as well. She was curious about how Qin Yang knew a star. Taking advantage of the absence of others, she quietly asked, Qin Yang, are you with Miss Cece? Qin Yang knew that this big CEO was curious about gossip and quickly explained, Cece has had some trouble recently and hired me as her personal bodyguard for a month. Bodyguard? Feng Danqing found it hard to believe. You, a millionaire, being a bodyguard for someone? A personal bodyguard? Who would believe that? Feng Danqing looked at him with a skeptical expression, as if she thought he was being a bit too forward. It can't be that simple, right? Come on. A top star like you can't find a bodyguard, and you chose me? You two must have a story. Qin Yang was almost speechless. What story? It's a pity you're not a screenwriter. To change the subject, Qin Yang proactively asked, how's the project progressing? When can I move in? Feng Danqing's expression became serious. I've been supervising it personally these past few days. The major construction is already completed. Only some minor details and cleanup work are left. If we work overtime tonight, it will be completely finished. You can move in tomorrow. Qin Yang nodded in approval. Great. Your efficiency is impressive. Feng Danqing proudly straightened her back. Of course. Just look at who's overseeing it personally. The conversation shifted again. However, if you want to move in with your bags, that might not be possible. Qin Yang asked in confusion, why not? Feng Danqing rolled her eyes at him. Do I really need to explain? Haven't you seen that the house is completely empty? With no daily necessities at all? Qin Yang suddenly understood. It's fine. I'm not that particular. I can just buy some toiletries. As long as I have a place to sleep, I'm good. Feng Danqing looked defeated. You're living in a big villa, yet you're so rough about it. With such a nice villa, if you don't enjoy it properly, how can you justify all the hard work we've put in these days? I'm so envious. I'm drooling. If you don't cherish this villa, why not sell it to me? I can help you enjoy it. Before Qin Yang could respond, she added, if that doesn't work, just leave me a room, and I can come over to enjoy it sometimes. How about that? Qin Yang was stunned. His jaw dropped. What kind of thinking does this beauty have? Are you interested in my house or my body? Chapter 51. Is this villa yours? All right. Qin Yang quickly interrupted, wanting to dispel Feng Danqing's unrealistic greed. Let's not talk about that. Just tell me, what do you want to do? Feng Danqing's eyes twinkled with a plan. How about this? Don't rush to move in. Prepare for a day tomorrow, and the day after, let us have a housewarming ceremony. Invite friends and family to celebrate and create some buzz. Moving into a big villa is a big deal. It's only right to let everyone know, right? If you don't show off your wealth at home, it's like wearing fine clothes in the night. You don't have time to flaunt it back in your hometown, but gathering some friends in Jiangcheng is definitely necessary. She became more excited as she spoke. Fei Xue is in advertising planning. Organizing events is her specialty. I'll call her in a bit to come help us out. As for your daily necessities and furniture, I'll have my secretary help purchase a batch as a congratulatory gift for your housewarming. I'll make sure everything is arranged clearly so you have a warm and comfortable home. Lost in her own thoughts, Feng Danqing envisioned leisurely days by the lake, enjoying the beauty of nature. What do you think of this arrangement? Slap. Qinyang was taken aback. How did it get more and more outrageous? Is it really necessary to make it this grand? And it's turned out to be such a big deal. I don't think it's necessary, right? Feng Danqing nodded repeatedly. Of course it's necessary. It's very necessary. I've said so much. Do you have anything to add? Qinyang was speechless. He spread his hands. Villas, yachts, luxury cars. Beautiful women. According to your logic, I'm at least missing a beautiful woman. Feng Danqing glanced at Lu Cixi in the distance.